the Tuesday edition. This is not a story. It's a story for you guys. It's not a story for us. Aaron Rodgers against his former team. That's Matt Laflur edition. I wanted a Seattle Pilots Brewers Mariners World Series. I got Dodgers Blue Jays edition. And he did not carpool with Barry Alvarez, but he did spend some time with Barry Alvarez at Hard Rock Casino Rockford last night. Can't wait to hear some of the highlights from that edition. Also, I have a letter here, not from Bob Uecker, but from Chris McIntosh to Badgers fans everywhere. That was sent out yesterday during our show. Might read an excerpt or two from that edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you need on the all-new, all redesigned, all free, and all customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, which even the dogs are excited about. I'm Chase Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer and a member of one of the great Badgers Rose Bowl teams that were celebrated over the weekend. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Jason. How are you? How are you doing this morning?
It's going to be one of those days, huh?
No, I'm in a good... I'm all right. Jesse?
Jason?
So you basically said you have the open this morning, so let's hear it.
Oh, hi.
Oh, awkward silence.
Well,
surprised Tausch didn't jump in there.
Getting a little situated here. With a few things going on. I thought maybe I would, get an extra second or two. That's okay. We'll manage. All right. So we went to the Hard Rock Casino Rockford last night. We had a wonderful 2-hour special, the Barry Alvarez show.
Can you explain for our audience who
Yes.
we is?
So, car number 1, the Rose Bowl car, featured Tarek Saleh, Derek Engler, and Barry Alvarez all carpooling together from the Madison area. Tarek drove, I learned. I tried to ask them at the start of the show some details of the road trip because I would love to, I think we could do an entire hour of the show just on those three in a car for an hour from Madison to Rockford. They weren't really biting at that too much. I think they were show prepping as we were making the trip down. So the Rose Bowl car was car number 1. Pablo Iglesias and I drove down in car number 2.
The Dunzo car.
The Dunzo car. So we arrive, and we have a great show, I thought. 2 hours, productive Badgers conversation.
Nothing viral.
The Jesse Nelson show.
You'll hear a little bit of what Coach Alvarez had to say about the letter and the head coach and the fans and all that stuff. We will get to some of that coming up. For everyone who was in the YouTube comments and tuning in just to see if the coach was going to say, let's fire everybody, he didn't say that, shockingly. We wanted to actually have a more productive conversation than just saying, yeah, let's fire everybody. So sorry to disappoint for those who were tuning in just for that.
You would have loved that, though, right? Because then that would have blown up.
Millions of
views.
I mean, if Barry Alvarez,
selfishly for you,
if Barry Alvarez popped the mic at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, all the fans who were sitting in the Hard Rock Cafe and up at the bar and at the slots and at the tables, and they all wanted to hear, and he just says, you know what? I'm going to change everything I've said all season long about how I feel about this thing. I think everyone should just get fired. We should just
Very irrational.
It would be very irrational.
Very irrational.
No doubt.
Very irrational.
So we had really a productive conversation, I thought, on the state of Wisconsin athletics. A lot of good stuff going on there. And then there was this fun interaction near the end of the show that I wanted to share with you because I thought
Ooh, you're going to start with the end.
We're going to start at the end, and then I'm sure throughout the course of today's show with Evan Cohen and with you guys, we're going to hear from Barry. Like, we're going to talk a lot about Wisconsin football and the state of things. So this is what came up in the final moments of the show last night, and this is what I was getting ready. I'm not sure if I'm exactly in the right spot. Just bear with it if it takes a second to get into it.
Okay. Yes.
Everything's fantastic.
I thought you were trying to reach for the
Hard Rock
nachos.
Casino Rock. I'm good. This absolutely wonderful hospitality. Wonderful here from Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Thanks to all the fans who have been out here with us tonight, enjoying the slots and the table games and the Monday Night Football and us up here on the stage at Hard Rock Casino
I
Rockford.
think we should go.
Yeah, Coach.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Shoot one time to hit the dice table
You got to get in and out.
before we leave.
Well, Ben, we'll see where it's at.
So you play craps?
I am. So here's what my thing is with craps. I'm not confident enough yet to play at the table with them.
All right, here we'll-
I've done a little like individual.
will coach
Here's
you up.
what we'll do.
Oh boy.
We'll parlay a little money. I'll run the money. And I'll show you what we're doing.
And I'll stand there and
I'll explain the game. I'll explain the game to you.
Yeah.
So the next time you come here, you can stand up there and know what's going on.
Well, I mean,
how about that?
He does a good job.
in one way, I'm terrified. In another way, it's a dream come true. I'm not sure which one I feel more of.
You're not going to lose $1 million. You're not going to lose $1.
Wow, Coach coaching you up.
That's fun.
So
That's awesome.
that was the invitation from Barry Alvarez inviting me to join he and Tarek and Derek at the craps table upon the conclusion of the show.
Okay, so did it happen?
So the show gets done right about 8 o'clock. And I'm helping. A couple of our other teammates are there, and Laney's there, Chad's
She's
there,
always there.
Ashton, Pablo, the whole crew is there, and so we're helping clean up some of the equipment from being on the tremendous setup they have there on the stage. You guys know we've been there together, so it's not too long with all of us there. 4 or 5 minutes, we're done. In that time, that 4 to 5 minutes that I kind of helped just put the headsets away and whatnot, the guys bolted straight for the craps table. Tarek, Derek, they are all right back, and it's kind of center at Hard Rock Casino Rock. It's like right in the middle of the place. Only one table open. It's a Monday night. That's not surprising. Only one of the two tables was open to play craps, and it was a popular spot, a very full table. So I walked over upon conclusion of wrapping everything up, and Barry's there, and Derek's kind of on the other end of the table, and they're kind of, elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder with all the other people who are crowding in around the table. And I flinched.
You flinched in the presence of Barry Alvarez?
And I did not play craps with Barry Alvarez. And
What are you doing?
And I regret it. Yeah.
Why did you flinch? Was it just there's no
I
room?
panicked. It was a full table. He was clearly in the zone. I found out they were winning, which was good. So the table was hot. Everybody was having fun. It's kind of, and craps is a game. It's not as easy as
The table was
blackjack or roulette, where it's kind of like like there's a lot of action happening on a craps table. People are throwing dice, and the big rod thing is moving things around, and chips everywhere, hands grabbing both ends of the
the
table. It's
The big rod
Your
thing.
bets out.
there was a lot happening, and I got scared.
Oh my God!
So I did,
So what did
You
you
and
do?
Wilde
You
are
left?
made for each other. You two are made for each other. That's so you and Pablo just walked out instead of throwing. You give Coach Al $40 or $50 and just let him go to work, and then he'd teach you. You got the point, and you can play the pass line. You can do the come. You can play specific numbers. And you didn't do any of it.
Sounds pretty complicated to me.
Well, I didn't do any of it. I then went over to check out the UU Noodle Bar to see what they had for dinner.
I've heard
Did
good
you go
things.
boo there?
And in the,
Did you boo
I
at the
did
UU?
ask Coach Alvarez to say, please go boo in the UU Noodle Bar. He had a good laugh with that. So thank you for providing that content for us last
good.
night.
That was good.
In the time that I walked over to the UU Noodle Bar and then back to the craps table, Pablo jumped in right next to Barry Alvarez, and he played craps. Ditch me And Pablo's standing right there, yucking it up with the old coach at the craps table. He was able to muscle his way in and find some room. Totally ditched me. And I sat there as the odd man out watching Derek and Barry and Pablo playing craps. And I regret it.
Yeah, this story makes me feel sad.
Yeah, me too.
Because, Jesse, here's the deal with you. You're a very good host. Producer, you do a good job on a lot of fronts.
Thanks,
a couple
Tausch.
things, but that's neither here nor there. But you have strong opinions. You try to fire Pat Murphy. You have strong opinions on things. But this is where I give Jason a lot of credit. Jason has to go in the locker room and go eye to eye with guys he's critiquing and he's writing about. You now have had a couple of different opportunities to hang out outside of show with both Brett Favre and Barry Alvarez. Two, like many people would say, Mount Rushmore, Wisconsin sports figures.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get a ton of arguing from almost anybody.
Yeah.
You, Jesse Nelson, from Muskego, Wisconsin, you could be living people's dream, and instead you're flinching away to go get a bucket of noodles. Now, granted, they're great noodles from the UU Noodle Bar, but you don't take advantage of that opportunity. You probably didn't sleep good last night.
I didn't.
Oh boy.
I did. I didn't leave. I sat kind of nearby after I watched for a minute, and I was like, well, maybe I'll jump in, and it was too much happening. I went and I sat at one of the little like blackjack machines right next to it. It's not even the table; it's the one where it's like the automated. I was
not one of those dice.
Yeah.
One of the craps that you're in a bubble and you just hit the button and the dice bounce up like boggle.
Yep, that's where I'm comfortable playing craps. But I didn't even play craps because I felt that would have been the worst look if I didn't play craps
The
next
old
to Barry
ball
Alvarez.
coach,
But I went to
Jesse,
the
the
machine.
old ball coach wanted to get. He hasn't coached in a while. He wanted to coach.
Yes.
Here's this guy that he's done all these viral clips with. He wanted to mentor you.
Yes.
On the game of craps at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a great partner of ours, and you flinch? He wrote a book that said, don't flinch.
I told us
You
not
read
to
it.
flinch.
It was a full table. You don't coach someone up in the middle of a golf round. You go to the driving range first.
How
No,
did
you don't
Pablo
coach
get
people in front of
there?
75,000 people. Come on, Gel.
That's
what he's known for.
You don't
He's
practice a
built
new
for
play
this.
on the sideline right before you're going to do it in the Super Bowl. Like that, you can't bring me in as a novice of the game and coach me up when there's a hot
You
table.
just said it was a Monday night. This wasn't.
It was packed in.
This wasn't a Saturday night at Bellagio.
The craps
with
table
a
was the
big
place
fight.
to be last night at Hard Rock Casino,
Yeah.
Rockford. It was packed in, wall to wall, shoulder to shoulder.
Gel.
You're
making
making
excuses and you know it. You know it. You know you should have. Was Becca disappointed in you this morning?
He hasn't told her yet.
No, I did. She called me a chicken. She never. Not that she doesn't care about the Barry Alvarez show, but she rarely tunes in. She's usually at home, taking care of the dog or whatever else on Monday evenings. She tuned in last night, heard the end of the show, texted me at the end, "Good luck," with the dice emoji.
Good luck.
Oh, so supportive.
That's
So
cute. Nice. Supportive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I did feel bad that I didn't play craps with Barry Alvarez. The good news is
Kind of crapped out.
we do have one more show that'll be there before season's end. I don't know the exact day. It's sometime in November.
Be a new host.
So I have from now until then to
With
learn
Pablo
the game.
Iglesias.
Exactly. That's what I was going. Barry's new good buddy.
very
his
rude.
craps buddy, Pablo Iglesias.
I mean, those two, they were
And
having
Jesse-
a good time. They were having the time of
Jesse
their
will
lives
be doing
last
all
night.
the digital content for it.
Trying to make
Oh,
Pablo
my
and
God.
Barry go viral. What an ironic twist.
I don't think Pablo shared this story with me because we drove back together. I don't think Coach would mind that I've shared this story. So Coach was wearing one of his he was wearing one of his Rose Bowl championship rings, coming off the big reunion weekend. So he had one of the Rose Bowl rings on last night. And so they're sitting at the craps table, and someone else who was playing did not know who Barry Alvarez was and looked and said, "Oh, you a championship poker player?"
Oh.
And Coach said, "Yep."
The old ball coach.
And that was it. And that's a story I had to hear from Pablo because I wasn't there myself.
I'm actually. Let me ask you this: If Tark and Derek and Coach asked Pablo to ride back with them, would he have left you to ride with?
That would have been amazing.
Probably. They're pals now. They 45 good minutes at the craps table. Big winners. And
If they had the dice for 45 minutes, they cleaned up.
And there was me over at the $3 blackjack automated machine.
Just playing Keno.
Over on the side by myself, looking at everyone else having fun.
Boy.
Yeah.
Well, give me a scouting report on the UU Noodle Bar then. How good was it?
Well,
I didn't actually eat there. That's what he's going to say next.
What? You flinched at the noodle bar, too?
it was a sit-down place, and I thought Pablo was coming with
God.
me, and I didn't want to go sit by myself and wait, so I didn't even get the UU Noodle Bar.
All right,
this is
legitimate is
failure of a
This
night.
is the saddest road trip story I've ever heard. Oh, my God.
It's like The Hangover, but the opposite.
There was a chicken
But not
fried,
fun at all.
There was a chicken fried rice on the menu that sounded so good, but I didn't get it because I didn't want to wait and sit there by myself.
God.
All my friends were playing craps, and I just wanted to go hang out with them, and then I didn't even do that.
When it comes to your home, the smart play is to trust Gina Della and her team at Pella, and I don't know where else to go from there. This month, you can score a whole house of new energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month with zero interest for up to 60 months. That's like a drive you can sustain for years, keeping your home comfortable thanks to the incredible defense played by Pella Windows, stopping the drafts. Don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
I don't know where we go from here. I do know that Evan Cohen will have opinions on this when he joins us at 9:30. I don't know if I've ever heard anything sadder on our show.
It was sad.
Like his voice. Like, did you hear Jesse's voice? I think he started in tears.
But not getting the new UU Noodle Bar in the end was definitely...
That was a great capper to the story.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, I was
bummer.
real because I'm sure they have a really good pad thai would be my guess, right?
Well,
That
it's
sounds
top of the menu,
phenomenal.
first thing on it, yeah.
Oh, Jesse wouldn't know.
No, I read the whole I sat there. I read the entire menu. There were like 5 things that I for sure wanted to eat. The chicken fried rice was calling my name, but it was a sit-down place. And Pablo he wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we will try to soldier on our sad little program today. Evan Cohen scheduled to appear at 9:30. We've got other things we'll get to through the course of the show. But, man, it's going to be a struggle to rebound. We'll try. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
October is here, and if you've got old windows, it's time to eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation. Right now, during the Brewers postseason, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. And be sure to ask how you can score a pair of tickets to a 2026 Brewers home game. Don't miss out on free windows, 0 payments for 2 years, and Brewer tickets from Window Nation, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Offering soon, so visit windownation.com now to get started.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Courtney Cronin.
Winning ugly is still winning, and they're learning how to do it. Like, these were games a year ago that this Bears team doesn't win for a number of different reasons. Coaching being one of them, player execution being the other. Straight up situational awareness. The way that they used the clock at the end of the game, the way that they ran the ball, stayed in bounds to set up Jake Moody, that's a well-coached football team who understands the gravity of the moment and how to not screw it up the way that they did last year by allowing Jaden Daniels to launch that Hail Mary and to walk away from a place that you didn't want to become your house of horrors because it looked like it was about to be that again. You know, they blew a 13-point lead. It was disgusting out all night. You have a kicker who was called up from the practice squad. Like, all of it set up for the old Bears to be like, yeah, nah, this is probably something that's too much for us to overcome.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
The 24th annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Baird Center. Green Bay Packers all-time leading receiver and Super Bowl champion Donald Driver will be the featured guest and keynote speaker. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp's STEAM-based education program to thousands of K-3 through 5th grade students and educators across Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We will get to Aaron Rodgers, and we'll get to Evan Cohen, and we'll get to everything we've got planned. But I am curious, Jesse, maybe Tausch and I are being too hard on you.
Nope.
What does the text line tell us, the Carbless Talking text line?
They're being more harsh, I'd say. Rob and Waukesha. Jesse, when you're on the craps table, everyone's on the same team. You're rooting for the shooter to hit his number that you're betting on. Big missed opportunity. That's from Rob.
Yeah, that's my understanding of how that game works, yes.
His name is Coach. It's literally in his name, from Adam in the Berg. Is there another location you could hardly know someone, spend 45 minutes with them, and be old pals by the time you're done? A hot craps table is certainly one of those spots.
Mm-hmm. Now, you can be an antagonist and go against the shooter and play the don't pass line And you can become that. You can also be an enemy on the craps table. Now, most people don't, but some people do.
See, this is what I don't know and why I flinched and didn't go play yesterday, because I don't know these terms. Like, I know what the table looks like. I know sevens are bad, but sometimes
sevens are good until you get your point.
They're good and then they're bad.
You want to roll. Yeah, so Barry gets the dice in his hands. He's playing the pass line. He rolls. You want to get 7 and 11. Boom, you get paid. Whatever you have, bam, bam, bam. Then whatever point you roll, as long as it's not a 1 or a 2 or snake eyes or boxcars, and I think maybe a 3. That's called crapping out. You lose your initial bet. You got to put it back down. Once you hit your points, 6, 8, 9, 10, you then need to hit 6, 8, 9, 10 before you roll a 7. Does that make sense? That's the basic quick version of craps.
It's still a little confusing.
Yeah, I can understand. It is confusing. It takes a little time. But you know what's real easy? When you're out there with somebody that knows and will explain it to you, because the one thing is, it does take a little time between shakes, especially if it's a full table. You got money, you got all kinds of odds, and it is a very nuanced game. I'll agree with you on that, Jesse, but if you just play your point, it's pretty simple.
Last one here from Geriad. Jesse hiding from craps with Barry may just be the only thing sadder than the current UW football state of things.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Hurts.
Hurts, don't it? Jesse, I still don't have a rundown, so what read would you like?
Let's have Tausch tell us about Coors Light. And Jason, maybe you need to log into your email again.
I have the rundown. How is that possible? I'll tell you what, whether you're hiding under a table, you're enjoying rolling dice with the old ball coach, or you're watching your favorite team win, it's great to crack open a Rocky Mountain cold Coors Light. Make sure the mountains are blue. That's when you know your Coors Light is chilled to perfection. It's only 102 calories. Coors Light is always made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company at Golden, Colorado.
Evan Cohen joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the 2nd floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the 2nd floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
It's homecoming this weekend at UW Whitewater. Make plans to cheer on your Warhawks when they welcome in UW Platteville in a top 15 battle on Saturday at 1 p.m. The annual George Christ Memorial Bowl game features a pair of top 15 ranked teams. Get tickets now at uwwsports.com. Experience national championship level college football this Saturday when the Warhawks welcome in the Pioneers to Perkins Stadium. Kickoff at 1 p.m. For tickets to this rivalry game, go to uwwsports.com. Warhawk football powered by tradition.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Zero restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I am very curious, well, about a lot of things, and I'm eager to hear Evan's opinion on several things. But Jesse passing up and flinching on an opportunity to play craps with Barry Alvarez is at the top of the list. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Morning, guys. How we doing?
Well, we started with a very sad start to the show. Like, Jesse's story about Barry Alvarez inviting him to play craps with him and then him not going and flinching and then sitting reading the UU Noodle Bar menu alone and not even eating there while Barry's having fun with Tarek and Derek and Pablo playing craps. It's depressing.
Yeah. So it's an interesting hypothetical that was a reality because many times what people in life present to people is like, oh, if so-and-so asks you to do something, I don't mean immoral, but asks you to do something that you don't like to do or asks you to eat a food that you don't like to eat because it's that person, would you then do it? For example, no joke, last week on our show, the crew, Smalls and Canty, started asking me on Unsportsmanlike, if Michael Jordan just knocked on your door, would you give him your house? I said I would start packing upon arrival if he wanted my house. Like, literally, just handing Michael Jordan out. Like, that's the kind of thing that, while it's pathetic, we all have to acknowledge how pathetic we are. And Jesse, when Barry Alvarez, even though you do a show with him, asks you to do anything, the answer is yes. I think maybe if he asked you to commit a crime, which he wouldn't do, you'd say no, but even then I think you have to think about it.
So I have a real-life example of that when I went out to Washington State and visited Coach Bennett. He made coffee, and I don't drink black coffee. And he told
you better
Jason,
have that day.
Jason, I grind the beans myself. Do you think that I would turn down one of my idols offering me his freshly ground coffee, even though I don't like black coffee? Absolutely not. I had 3 cups of that. I have not had black coffee before or since, but it's Dick Bennett. So, of course, I say yes.
Right. That's right. Now, Tausch, what about you? You loved Cal Ripken growing up. If Cal Ripken asked you to eat something or do something or play something that you just don't like or are against, you do it because it's Cal Ripken.
It definitely, as a young man, I would have. Like, if Dan Marino wanted me to wear Isotoner gloves and it was real hot, I'd still wear Isotoner gloves.
This whole bit.
I would.
You cannot stop with the Dan Marino gloves bit. You're still doing this? This
what do you
is
mean?
years on end. Tausch has been trying to get this relevance back of Dan Marino Isotoner endorsements.
Is it not one of the greatest endorsement? What other brand is completely outside of Nike and Jordan? What other
Bob
brand
Uecker
is
and Miller
super?
Lite to everyone
Well, no,
other than
because
Jesse.
thought it was Coors Light. So no, Isotoner and Marino.
I cannot believe you're still doing this.
Is there anything that you could think
Wait,
of?
was this a bit when you guys were together recently?
This was 5 to 7 years. This was like 6-7 years ago, I think.
6-7 years.
How many years ago?
Yeah.
Was it 11?
6-7.
For real?
It's been a while.
6-7.
It's been a while.
We were
I
at
don't know
Radio
exactly.
Row at the Super Bowl, and Tausch was doing this bit, and it didn't work then, and now he's bringing it back now, which is really amazing.
Well, Evan, I'm asking you, as someone that has covered sports and media and endorsements and products, is there another company that got more bang for their buck with whoever would have heard of Isotoner if it wasn't for Dan Marino?
MJ Gatorade?
Well, MJ's Nike. No, MJ is Nike, not Gatorade.
MJ's both.
MJ is obviously in its own category.
He is in
I'm
its
saying
own
for a niche product, there ain't anything like it. Tell me something else. Fred McGriff did that old hitting video that got a lot of love, but that's different.
Tom Amansky.
Yeah, Tom
Do you want to hear a funny
Amansky.
Fred McGriff story? Wait, do you want to hear a funny Fred McGriff story?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Fred McGriff, for those who don't know, was a really great baseball
Hall of
player,
Famer.
first baseman.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
He's in the Hall of Fame.
I thought
yes.
he had 400 home runs. He got in? Okay. So Hall of
He's
Fame
a Hall of
baseball
Famer.
player.
Jesse, fact
I
check.
remember.
You
We'll
said
get back
that
to
with
us
such
next week.
certainty.
When I worked at Sirius XM, Fred McGriff was also there. And he was on MLB radio. And I heard a story once that he was late to a show and it created all this chaos because they didn't have a host. And I was like, geez, is he okay? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, well, what happened to the guy? And he goes, somebody told me he had to pick up his dry cleaning. And I said, that had to happen to start the show. Fred McGriff missed the beginning of a show for a dry cleaning pickup. That's when you prioritize your show. That's when you put your show above all. Mark Tauscher, have you ever missed part of a show for a dry cleaning pickup?
That is no. That would not happen.
If I could support my partner here for a second, the Isotoner argument that he's making, let's not forget that Isotoner actually even makes it into the movie where he's kidnapped, Ace Ventura. He is doing an Isotoner commercial with, I think, Jeff Dellenbach and another
I'm telling you right
player.
now, Jason.
They got their
now.
product into the movie as during him doing the endorsement.
Who? Dellenbach's a Wisconsin guy. Yes,
he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
and
actor.
I want to say he was a high school football coach in South Florida for a little bit, if I'm not mistaken.
Better than
All
the guy
I'm
that was
telling
in the
you is
60-yard
for a
line.
niche product, that was the most successful niche advertising campaign in the history of sports. And you can tell me another one. I don't know what it is.
I'm joining that club.
All right, great job.
What is it? No, what is it?
I don't know. I'll pick up your dry cleaning next time I'm in town.
Fred McGriff, 2023 Baseball Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you.
Congratulations to the crime dog.
The old crime dog.
Are you guys avoiding what's going on in our world at the University of Wisconsin right now? Are you just
No,
gonna avoid
I
that
was
with me? What's happening?
Kinda.
So no.
Sorta.
I was going to transition, and then I assume Tausch is going to leave to go pick up his
Well,
dry
in fairness,
cleaning.
Evan just wowed us with that Fred McGriff story. So let's not. He's giving me grief about Isotoner gloves. He's talking about some first baseman from the '80s, man. So let's just make sure we're on the
Tausch is going to head over to pick up Junius Costin's crushed velvet purple jacket that he had dry cleaned.
I am not asking Mark Tauscher to say anything negative, and I don't want to say anything negative about UW-Madison nor the football program. What I would like to do is bring this topic up as a series of questions that I will ask specifically to fellow UW-Madison grad Jason Wilde, because Mark Tauscher, I love too much to put in an uncomfortable position. So,
We all do.
Jason,
I'm ready.
Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Jason?
That's exactly what's happening right now.
I know that you do not listen nor watch our show, but I do watch your own show, and I know that you pay attention to what I put out on social media. Have you heard me at any point recently be overly critical or even critical at all of UW-Madison or the football program?
I have not.
Okay. So that was an important setup. Was it necessary for Coach Fickle, who I think was, at the time, a hell of a hire and a great idea, was it necessary, in your opinion, for him to randomly take a shot at Bill Belichick this weekend?
No, I did not think that was necessary.
Okay. Did you read the statement that our athletic director, Chris McIntosh, sent out to fans, alumni, etc.? Did you read that statement, as I did? This is leading, I understand. As, by the way, we probably should ask you all for money.
I read that as... All right, we're not putting Tausch in a bad spot here, but
if I may interject,
you may.
So, I saw that letter. I don't know what time it was middle of our show.
It was during our show. I read it afterward.
I looked at my email. It was in there, and I wasn't 100% sure. It could have been a myriad of things, in my opinion, that was going to be said in that letter. I think the first thing that most people thought was that, what you're saying, Evan, that it was we need more support. If I may finish, and then you can go.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. After reading it and then kind of looking at it myself, what I took from that letter was there is going to be more of an institutional from Chancellor Mnuchin. There is going to be more institutional and more university backing of the football program for retention and recruitment for the football team. That is what I read. So that is why I believe Mac is asking for patience and whatnot. Now, you don't have to agree with that, and I think there's other people that are looking at it and saying the donors need to step up, we need to step up, the coaches need, everybody, because we all recognize what's happening is not anywhere near good enough. And matter of fact, it's the opposite of that. That's how I took that letter. Go ahead.
All right. No, that's good. I'm glad you did that. So now let's talk about where money like that comes from, right? So if you're utilizing budget that the university already has, we're saying that the university, which is an amazing academic institution first and foremost, will potentially reallocate funds to the football program. Maybe that's an option. Or maybe the goal is to increase the funds that the university has to work with for those funds to be utilized for football. So my question then still becomes, where does that money come from? How I read the statement yesterday is almost as if, again, my reading of this, we didn't want to have to be in sales, but now we realize we have to be in sales, where I believe other universities, other athletic departments realize number one thing we need to do in sports right now is make sure we have people that are so connected to the community that they live in this case Madison, to the alumni base, to the ex-players, all sportsmen and women, to make sure that we're funding for ourselves, in essence. I think other universities seem to realize you can't actually let your game do the talking. You have to talk in order for your game to do the talking. And how I read it is now we realize we're in sales. For example, I was at an event. I was introduced by someone of prominence to someone high up at UW Athletics of prominence. And I was told by the introducer, boy, that was weird. I said, why? And the person said to me, you have a pretty big platform. You're at a UW-Madison event. If I were that person, I would try to feed you stuff to basically be a shill for the university. And I said to the introducer, well, I would have done it, but I wasn't fed it, right? So I would say, of sports media people that are UW-Madison grads, in the sports world, Big Cat is far and away the biggest. I'm not saying I'm second. What I'm saying is the platform I'm on is enormous. And I'm not saying I would be biased in the favor, but having information maybe ahead of time, maybe to be an inside person in a positive way, not unfair, not immoral, would be something you take advantage of. That was not taken advantage of, right? Again, it's not just me. It's how many people in the community right now can say that they have a personal relationship with AD and football coach. And maybe it's thousands, and I don't realize. I do realize that so many people say that about the basketball coach, because the basketball coach realized in order for me to just coach basketball, I have to be in sales first. That letter yesterday almost was an admittance of we got the order wrong. It doesn't mean we got the people wrong. It doesn't mean we can't get it right. It's we thought football would bring money in. Money's going to bring football in.
Yeah.
Wow, that was good.
That was good.
Jason.
It was.
Very profound, Evan. Very profound.
I think you make a good point, but I disagree in this way. I just thought it was incredibly, and again, it pains me to be this person on this panel, but I found it to be tone deaf. There are a lot of people that are extremely frustrated with where the program is, and basically the way I read it was, well, that's because we're not giving it enough support. That's basically the reason why the program is where it is. And I found that to be...
It's our fault? Like, it's our fault as alum and efficiency?
Yes. And look, I have not contributed to the NIL funding, so if you want to blame me, that's fine. I'm not Big Cat or Evan Cohen.
You read it as like,
Yes,
I'm not Big Cat.
you're right. I was making a joke, but yes, that's how I read it. And again, look, I don't understand what exactly would placate the fan base right now. I would
Let me ask you this, Jason. If that statement yesterday, because I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to really hone in on what you're saying.
Yeah.
If that statement you read yesterday, I haven't done a good enough job connecting with you, so you can support us.
Yeah, I read it as we need more of your money, or we're going to be bad for a really long time.
No, I'm saying, would you rather have read it as the way I just said it?
Yes.
I am the athletic director. I have not done a good enough job of connecting with you, alumni, fan, former player, in order for you to understand the importance of supporting us. This is on me, and I plan to connect with you in a way that I haven't previously to make sure you understand the greatness of this university and this program. And I'm starting immediately. I'm bringing people in. I'm bringing alumni in. I'm bringing fans in. I got a private tour. I'll shout out Ben Brust, who set my family and I up with a private tour of the Kohl Center with some of the staff from the team. I can't tell you how wonderful they were. And maybe there are a million other people that have done that from a football perspective, but now is the time where you're going to have to go all in with this. Go look at your season ticket holders. how many of them have been to the locker room that Tausch played out of? That they like. I know that sounds stupid, but that's the kind of. Well, you get what I'm saying. The grassroots stuff to make people feel like they're a part of it needs to happen. If it's not, I don't know that it's not, but if it's not.
Yeah,
so
especially
Jason,
if you're asking for money.
If you're advising Mac or the UW, you already had your meeting with the State Journal a couple weeks ago. How would you advise Mac to go forward from a messaging standpoint?
So
because the message is gonna be, what is it, Rorschach? Is that what where you're gonna hear and see what you want to see? Or some razor?
Yep.
Oxen's
How about
razor?
sitting down with the two of you for an hour? How about sitting down with Alvarez on his show for an hour? How about sitting down with KBN for an hour? I mean, do the rounds. Be out there. You guys, let's be honest. You guys are as safe a landing place as anybody from the university could be a part of it. And when I say safe, I mean questions that need to be asked will be asked, but they will be asked from two people that want to see the best from the school that they graduated from, right? And so I think, I don't know the answer. Has McIntosh ever been on with you guys in studio for an hour?
Not in studio, no.
Has Pickle ever been in studio with you for an hour?
No.
Their studio, the university studio.
Jesse, have either of those two ever been on Barry's show with you and Tarek and Derek?
No.
Okay. Now, I can't assume that Jesse's requested these people. They're A-listers in Madison and the state of Wisconsin. I can't assume that.
He doesn't book guests.
That's not his deal.
I can guarantee you an invitation has been extended to Chris McIntosh to join us at any time he would like to join us on the Barry Alvarez Show.
Right. So, literally, him sitting there and this simple question. Chris, what has gone wrong? That's it. We're done. Every answer, every question after that can go based on that. What has gone wrong? Why have things gone wrong? How have they gone wrong? What will go right? How will they go right? Why will they go right? What can we do to help? What do you need to do better? Why should we believe in the program and the athletic department moving forward? These are not difficult questions. The answers are difficult, but the questions are not. And you're saying, what can they do? We need you in more of a human setting. Go drive down to Chicago, knock on Barstool's door, and say, Big Cat, I'm here. Let's go to work. Fly in, knock on our door in New York at ESPN. Let's go. We'll put you on. Let's go.
Don't you think, Evan, that the worst thing, aside from their own issues themselves, with their program and the failures and the back-to-back shutouts and everything else, don't you think the worst thing that's happened to Wisconsin football is Indiana football?
No, because I think you're assuming that Wisconsin fans think about other Big Ten schools. I don't necessarily think about it that way. I think when we're good, we do. Because, Jason, Indiana is so far above what we are right now. Like, can we be Iowa first?
Well, what I'm saying is that because I definitely have alumni friends that the first thing out of their mouths is, why is Indiana able to do this and we're not? That is the first thing I hear from them.
This is the thing. I don't believe the hire was wrong. I believe it hasn't worked out yet.
Right, and I'm not saying that if they had hired Kurt Cignetti, whose brother was the Packers quarterbacks coach for a brief period, and I don't know Kurt Cignetti at all, I'm saying they must have gotten it right more than just the coach, right? They're not. Is Indiana winning purely by the force of nature of Kurt Cignetti's personality?
Well, but remember, he brought everybody with him from James Madison.
I understand.
We're going to find out after that
yeah, I get it. But they're like second in the country. right? They must have.
Right, and Coach Fickle had one of the best teams in America at Cincinnati, right?
In
So
a
it's not like he
previous
hasn't had
incarnation of college football, though.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, this is the
you're
thing.
right.
Like, we're not heading right now in the right direction, and it's sad with someone like Jason Wilde, who wants to just not take a stance on things as much as possible, takes the strongest stance of everyone speaking right now.
Harsh but fair.
Right.
Harsh
They
but
got
fair.
Jason Wilde to turn on them without ever talking to Jason Wilde. Jason Wilde will turn on you once you say a word to him, then he'll turn on you. But without them saying a word, that's tough.
Not sure if
That
you're
is
speaking from experience or what. Look,
Not currently, I don't feel that way, but in the past.
Yeah, look, the bottom line, for me anyway, is that I have a much greater level of respect for people that take ownership. I have said this about Jordan Love multiple times. It's Aaron Rodgers week, by the way, in case you haven't heard. Packers playing Aaron Rodgers. No, they're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, Matt Lafleur told us. But Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers have been epically great players. Did they take ownership when they made mistakes publicly? That was not one of their strengths. I am a big believer in, hey, we've screwed this up. We need to be better. And the tone of the letter as I read it was, we need more of your money. It did not strike the tone of, this is on us. We have not navigated the waters, the choppy waters of this new era of collegiate athletics the way we needed to. And that's on us. We need your help, but we have a better idea of how to do it now. This is the conversation we've had with Luke Fickell when he's been on the show, with Chris McIntosh when he's been on the show, with Greg Gard when he's been on the show, is that it is hard. And I get it's hard. It's hard for anybody that doesn't have Phil Knight's Nike money like Oregon does, or the SEC schools that are powerhouses that have the money that they have, or Penn State that can afford a $49 million buyout.
Jason, so
Evan,
let's talk about that for a second. So I don't remember who told me this, and I apologize for not remembering, but it was one of the smartest things I heard. And it was a hypothetical example, but it also could be used practically. I was talking to someone, and Tausch may know, I don't remember this, and they said to me, if you don't have NIL money or enough for football, do something that no one else will want so they can't take your players. So what are you talking about? The person said, run the wishbone offense. No one will try to get your guys because no one runs the wishbone. If you're going to say, what do you expect us to do? We need more of your money. Well, there's a reason the movie Moneyball exists. It's finding value where others don't. Like, the Oakland A's have won a lot of games. Tampa Bay Rays have won a lot of games doing things differently. So, if Wisconsin, I'm making up numbers, operates on $1 million budget, but Ohio State and Michigan operate on a $20 million budget, where's your money ball? What are you doing that others don't to make up for the cost? Do something where somebody would say, I don't want those players because they literally can't fit in my system. They haven't done any of that. Tausch.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question? Let's pretend. Yeah. You've done a good job staying out of this, and I think Jason and I deserve a ton of credit for keeping you out of this. So please, a thank you note from you to us afterwards. I would like a dramatic reading. Of the McIntosh letter by Jesse Nelson in multiple accents at some point. So, like his Boston accent, the British accent. I'd like the McIntosh letter. Mark Tauscher, if you were the AD, I don't want to say if you were Chris McIntosh. If you, Mark Tauscher, were the AD, let's say Mac won the lottery and he's like, Tausch, all yours, I'm out of here. I don't need to do this anymore.
All right.
What's your first move? Yeah. What are you doing, Tausch? What's your first move?
I don't know. It would be irresponsible for me to answer that without knowing what's going on behind the scenes. It would be irresponsible for me to answer that question.
Oh, well, then you just answered the question. Your first move would be to truly. No, yes, you did. Your answer would be to truly investigate. Not that there's something wrong, but to learn what is going on behind the scenes to get us to the place we're at right now. And that's your first move.
There you go.
Inside out. You're looking inside out.
All right, Evco, before you go, we got to get at least your thoughts on this. Who's this game more important to on Sunday? Matt Lafleur and the Green Bay Packers or Aaron Rodgers?
Well, here's the craziest thing. We had a moment this morning on our show where in a break, and I brought it to air, Canty said to Dan Graziano, ESPN NFL reporter, "What's up with the Packers?" And Graz said, "You mean the number one seed in the NFC?"
Mm-hmm.
And we all took a step back and we're like, wait, what? What is happening here? How did that happen? So I guess you could make the argument it's more important to the Packers basically just to keep the one seed. Of course, the Rodgers part of it makes a lot of sense and is I think it's both important and interesting. I heard Mike Vrabel say this weekend, going back to Tennessee as a Patriots coach, it's interesting, not important. This is interesting and important, okay? I don't think that anyone believes the Packers made the wrong move in moving on from Aaron Rodgers. But I think that it's probably more important in terms of the football to the Packers and the personal to Rodgers. Of course, Rodgers is going to want to make them pay. The reality is, how can they pay when they're the one seed?
Yeah, and it's an out-of-conference game. It's not going to factor into their tiebreaker. Well, I mean, the Packers have a tie, which is weird in and of itself. But it pales in comparison to what occurred in 2009. Like, does Rodgers want to beat them? And all? Yes, all that stuff exists. Is probably not going to be the narrative from him when he does a Zoom call with us later in the week. But you know how he is wired. And you know he would love to play at an extremely high level. And you know who else would love to do that? Jordan Love, who has a great relationship still with Rodgers, which is certainly different than the way things played out during their time together with Favre and Rodgers. But there is the level of animosity and vitriol and all the stuff. Like, Tausch can tell you, the Packers in 2009 were derailed by their obsession with beating Favre. Mike McCarthy has admitted that after that. So I don't get that sense that is the case here. They're like amicably divorced.
I mean, this is absurd to say what I'm about to say, and it's Tuesday, but I feel like nobody's talking about it yet. It's going to be a huge deal, but it doesn't, Favre Week, not that you're not, I'm saying nationally, Favre Week was national and local, right?
Yep.
I mean,
you're 100% right.
Jason, what is your dream scenario for Rodgers Sunday night besides him texting you first before you text him first? Go ahead.
I'm proud to say I'm not the only one who expresses frustration with his communication.
Caleb Presley. Have you seen the Caleb Presley bit this week with Halliburton?
No.
Caleb Presley is hysterical. Content creator, brilliant Sunday conversation. He did a bit, and he was talking to Tyrese Halliburton, and he did something about, I reached out to Aaron Rodgers to ask him for advice for you recovering from the Achilles. And Halliburton was like, well, what did he say? He goes, nothing. He never responds to me. And then he went through his text messages and showed how many text messages he sent to Rodgers since he went on with Caleb Presley. And Rodgers has never responded once, but he doesn't stop texting him. He'll send him pictures and all these messages knowing Rodgers will never respond. It's unbelievable.
I got a response after the Thursday night game, and I've not gotten one since. So I'm glad he's doing a Zoom call. We look forward to him talking with us in the Green Bay media. This, to me, is a really interesting story for all the opposite reasons of what we had in 2009. That's why I think it's interesting, is because it's such a different vibe.
They get along, and they can end in a happy way one day, and that he's going to have the jersey retired, the Ring of Honor, whatever it may be, like all Packers Hall of Fame, that it's actually not debatable as to how he rides off into the sunset.
Yeah, and it does, look, if he was quarterbacking the Bears, this is an entirely different discussion. The Favre thing when he was in New York was not, like, if they'd had the Jets on the schedule in 2008, yeah, it would have been a story, and yeah, he would have wanted to shove it up Ted's you-know-what, but it just was different because it was the Vikings, and it would be different if it wasn't the Steelers, it was the Bears, but it ain't. It's the Steelers.
And in many ways, playing for the Steelers is an homage to the Packers. I'm finishing my career with the team that most resembles where my career was made. And I love that kind of environment, just not the current version of it for him, so much. I tried to find that somewhere else. That was the closest thing to it.
Evan, this was a great conversation between you and me, and Tausch's contributions about Isotoner gloves were outstanding.
Fred McGriff.
Tausch, you did a tremendous job. I mean, I know the content director in Madison, Ashton Rotman, has a great air check for you. There's going to be a lot of feedback, all the great things that Tausch said here. Hello?
There we go.
Mark Tauscher, are you alive?
Less is more.
See you, everybody.
Yes, less is more.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike, which you can hear across ESPN Wisconsin every single day. That was fun. Was I uncomfortable at times? Yeah, I was, but we found a way. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The 24th annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Baird Center. Green Bay Packers all-time leading receiver and Super Bowl champion Donald Driver will be the featured guest and keynote speaker. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp's STEAM-based education program to thousands of K-3 through 5th grade students and educators across Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
Just what everybody planned for. A kicking controversy in Green Bay after 7 weeks. Veteran kicker Brandon McManus has been sidelined with a right quad injury each of the last 2 weeks. And new kicker Lucas Haversek a perfect 10 for 10 on field goals and extra points combined, including the new franchise record, 61-yard field goal he hit on Sunday against Arizona. Head coach Matt Laflur.
It's a great luxury, I would tell you, but certainly we've got to feel confident, and Brandon's got to feel confident that he can go out there and perform to the level that what he's used to performing at.
Time will tell who's handling booting the ball Sunday in Pittsburgh.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Why Z-Bart? Because you have a manly truck that you do manly things with, and you don't want the truck bed getting all beat up. You want Rhino Liner by Z-Bart to keep your truck bed man-proof. So man up and ask for Rhino Liner by Z-Bart.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
No matter what we were doing, the Brewer game was always on. Kind of the background of my childhood. I wore number 17.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that was my number.
Yep. This is my friend Jim Gantner. Jim was always my favorite player. We did Jim's roof up in Eden.
Right. The great job he does on homes. Most important is honesty, integrity, and doing a great job.
See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra. At 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, it's a superior, smooth taste worth playing for. Grab a Michelob Ultra, superior light beer, as you cheer your team on. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy a Michelob Ultra at Dugout 54 Milwaukee, Maxwell's in Cedarburg, Stenney's Lake Country, and Brat Stop in Kenosha. Please enjoy responsibly.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
You say that I'm a mess. How could you expect?
Great conversation with Evan Cohen, but I got to be honest, as much as it was substantive about the Badgers and the football program and Chris McIntosh's letter and everything else, I am 100% in full agreement with Mark Tauscher on the Isotoner gloves. 100% Team Tausch. Again, let me just reiterate. A crucial plot point in the American cinematic classic Ace Ventura, he is abducted while he is doing an Isotoner gloves commercial. Mm-hmm. That is product placement at the highest level.
Would you have ever heard of Isotoner gloves if it wasn't for Dan Marino? Now,
they'd just be one of the many random glove brands.
Nike,
yep,
you'd hear about it. Isotoner, never. There's nothing else like it ever.
I'm on your team. Now, I would like to point out our big cat, Josh DiMaggio, after we segued into our discussion about Badger athletics, pointed out the George Foreman grill.
Yeah, that's number
probably
one.
Surpasses it because they didn't rename Isotoner's Merinos.
The Merino gloves. Yeah, it's the George
They
Foreman
might have used
grill.
Merino wool though. Also, Brett Favre with either his copper fits or what was that nose hair trimmer he allegedly shaved an entire beard with in that one commercial. But I don't think anything beyond the George Foreman grill. That one I think might take the cake. But it was a product.
His business.
It was a product that was, yes, it has his name on it. Put your name on it. So, anyway. All right, we want to get to Packers here. I know many of you tune into this here program specifically for that. So we will get to that as we roll on here on Wilde and Tausch. I want to remind you, though, that you got to tune in to Behind the Bucks. The Behind the Bucks podcast is on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. It's presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks brings you exclusive access and untold stories about the greatest stars and moments in Bucks history. And with the Bucks season right about to start, you're going to want to make sure you're caught up on everything Bucks. Find Behind the Bucks on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, which I got an update yesterday. Spotify has not been overly helpful to our people, but they have been consistently and ardently working on that, but without results to this point.
Go
Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher. The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
The 24th annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Baird Center. Green Bay Packers all-time leading receiver and Super Bowl champion Donald Driver will be the featured guest and keynote speaker. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp's STEAM-based education program to thousands of K-3 through 5th grade students and educators across Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
It's homecoming this weekend at UW Whitewater. Make plans to cheer on your Warhawks when they welcome in UW Platteville in a top 15 battle on Saturday at 1 p.m. The annual George Christ Memorial Bowl game features a pair of top 15 ranked teams. Get tickets now at uwwsports.com. Experience national championship level college football this Saturday when the Warhawks welcome in the Pioneers to Perkins Stadium. Kickoff at 1 p.m. For tickets to this rivalry game, go to uwwsports.com. Warhawk football powered by Tradition.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and football season is here. Are you ready to make money betting on sports? Are you ready to make a winning decision? Are you going to gamble for fun, or are you going to gamble for money? This year, make that decision that will build your bankroll all year long. Go to fatjacksports.com, and for less than $100 a week, make money betting on the games. That's fatjacksports.com. It's a personal portal. It comes to your email. It's hassle-free. It'll make you money. fatjacksports.com.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Bruston Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. So, let me rewind briefly to Evan's appearance, not about Isotoner gloves or the Badgers. Tausch, how do you view Rodgers versus the Packers? How do you view it, having lived through Favre versus the Packers?
Yeah, I think it's more important for Aaron Rodgers. I think the Packers have, I guess if you want to say, won this battle. You know, Aaron, his time in New York was not good. That's probably the nicest way to put it. It didn't work. His time with Pittsburgh seems to be going a little bit better. And, you know, I think Aaron and how that whole thing played out, this is Aaron's more than likely his last rodeo. And I think this would be a big feather in his cap. And I think it would be incredibly meaningful to him. And I don't know if he'll say that. I don't know. The spin will be a lot this week. We already heard Matt Lafleur a little bit with it. I don't think it's nowhere near the amount of vitriol and the angst that we felt. But it is not a normal regular season game either. No. It's somewhere in between. And I do think it means a lot to Aaron Rodgers to go out and play really well. And hopefully for him, in his mind, I think he really wants to find a way to win, just to let all the guys that thought he was done and thought it was time to move it along, I think he'd like to be able to say, here's this one more time. That's how I look at it.
I would agree. I would say that, and I don't think it comes from a place of I want to show him like in a negative way, which I do think fueled Rodgers in 2009 for sure.
Favre.
Against Favre, right. No, I'm saying, obviously Favre. I'm saying Rodgers wanting to show Favre, hey, I can live up to this, right? I do think that was part of how he was feeling during those two games.
Oh, yeah, but it was much more so. Yeah, it was much more so on the Favre front.
Right. No. I totally agree. And what I'm saying is that I think now it'll be much more so on the Rodgers side of I want to show these guys I can still play. Right, and maybe I made Lafleur what he was or whatever it might be. But I do think Jordan wants to play well against Rodgers. Like, I do think that that's important to him. And not just because he wants to give his team the best chance to win. I think he genuinely wants to play well. But their relationship is so different than where Rodgers and Favre's relationship was in 2009 that it just doesn't have the same juice. And how could it, right? Like, my question would be, what other matchups throughout the history of sports have been that charged of a player facing his former team? Of Favre.
Brady.
Did he play the Patriots in 2020?
Mm-hmm. Up in Foxborough, and it was incredibly charged. Heavily charged.
How did Evan Cohen navigate that situation? Who did he root for?
No, he wasn't doing a show on ESPN radio at the time. Yeah, don't know.
Okay. So I'm eager to see how it plays out. Yesterday, though, we had Matt Lafleur at the podium, and there's a young guy from WFRV up here. His name's Carson, and he's the first one to ask a Rodgers-related question. And it was, in my opinion, very innocuous the way he asked it, but he did say, "You're playing Aaron Rodgers." And Matt Lafleur pounced. Here's how this went yesterday.
Playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, who happen to have Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's as simple as that. That is for you guys to talk about. Granted, I mean, we've got a lot of respect and love for Aaron. I mean, what he's done here, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. And I know, like, our past together, we had a lot of great moments. But this game is not about that. It's about going to Pittsburgh, Sunday Night Football. Our guys will be jacked up. Their guys will be jacked up. It's about the Green Bay Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's for you guys to talk about all those other storylines.
So if it's for us to talk about, you still have to, do you still address it with your guys with the message you just gave us? Or how do you, because you can't just pretend that it's not happening, right? You don't not mention them at all, do you?
I think a lot of these, I don't even know if many of these guys played with him. So, I mean, there's a few guys, but yeah, I think that's just, yeah, it's for you guys. I'm going to talk about how we, just like we do every week, what is our blueprint and what are our keys in order to go to Pittsburgh, which is a damn good football team and a really tough, hostile environment, and try to play our best. Because we haven't put our best yet to date. So we've got a lot of work to do.
All right, so I have never been in the locker room when the coach addresses the team. You talk about messaging all the time, right? You've taught us that if you hear a lot of guys saying the same stuff that the coach said earlier in the week in the team meeting, that means your messaging has been effective. 1-0 every week, which has become I'll tell you this. I heard that during the Brett Bielema era in Madison. There's lots of coaches that have used it. I had not heard Packers players ever use that until after the Rasheed Walker, we could go undefeated, and they got beat. And now I hear 1-0 every week, all the blank in time. Clearly, Matt Lafleur wanted that to be his messaging. My question for you, Mark Tauscher, is do you really go into a week where you're playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who happen to have Aaron Rodgers, and you don't mention Aaron Rodgers to the team in your messaging at all? Is that really how this will play out?
No. No, but I do think it won't be highlighted. It's not going to be like the Minnesota-Green Bay rivalry. That will not be in play. I do think it's interesting for everybody that got after Sheeto for his statement. Seems like it worked. He was able to get everybody to refocus with this new messaging of being 1-0 every week after Sheeto said we're going to go 17-0 and go win a World's Championship. So I think we gave him grief at the time. Now we should maybe flip it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the Favre component to it, it's more about how to handle the messaging with y'all than about because the offensive guys aren't going to give a rip.
Right.
Like, Rasheed Walker doesn't care what Aaron Rodgers is doing. Now, Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary, they're going to care. All right, what does he like doing? How to use any information you have on him, checks, and all of the institutional knowledge that maybe Matt Lafleur and Jordan Love have. That will all be in play. But as far as all of the other stuff goes, I do think it's all about making sure your team is focused on the whole, not on just Aaron Rodgers. But I would think some players will have some fun with the Aaron Rodgers component to this, and I'm guessing Micah Parsons will be at the top of that list. And that will be the extent of it. It's not going to be I don't think Matt LaFleur is lying with what he was saying there. I think he's understating it a little bit, but I don't think he's lying at all. I think it will be a story. It is going to be, Jesse, when you do the Green and Gold Preview Friday, that is the storyline. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, we can skip that one.
Put
What's
that
the
in
second
there,
biggest storyline?
exempt it, because that will be the big storyline. But in the grand scheme of things, there's going to be a lot more, and it is going to be more team-based as far as how this thing shakes out.
All right, I want to get to the Packers kicking situation. I want to get to how the Packers are viewing themselves, and Matt LaFleur talking about coaching guys.
I also want to bring up Rashawn Gary, because someone on Twitter, and I don't remember who, so I'm sorry I'm not citing you. We mentioned yesterday that Rashawn Gary made a big play, right?
I'm pretty sure we did, yes. I think we were talking about how they...
Maybe what were you saying?
Awkward silence.
No, you jumped in, so I wanted you to finish. I wasn't sure if you had something here.
Yeah, we discussed how they have the lights and sirens in the meeting room, and they finally got their third takeaway of the season on a Strack, I believe.
By Rashawn.
By Rashawn Gary, yes.
Yeah, so I think there's there was a little trade whispers last week, and where is he? And I do think Rashawn hadn't. There's a couple of games that I thought he should have been more impactful. But I think this group is starting to figure out their roles, and that's why I can't wait to see. Hopefully Devontae Wyatt can get back. So there is the beautiful part about this, and why I haven't been as, negative as a lot of people about this group. They are the number one seed, and they found ways to win when not playing their best. Now, do we think that they will end up playing their best? Last year they didn't. Every year, this Green Bay Packers team, it feels like really since, I'm not going to go all the way back to Holmgren, but definitely in Mike Sherman's age, other than the 4-12 season, we always were playing our best in November and December.
Yeah,
sometimes it was great, sometimes it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mike McCarthy, until the year he got fired, always played their best late. Last year was the first real big exemption that I saw in the Matt LaFleur era, and I wonder what he's going to and how he's going to address that, because you're seeing some of the same remnants. Penalties, not creating turnovers, special team blunders. That is still that thing last year when he kept saying sloppy after week 16 and week 17.
Just going to bring that
was
up.
Such. If I don't want to hear Matt LaFleur saying after Thanksgiving, if somebody beats us, great. But if we're beating ourselves with sloppiness, I'm concerned. And I hope I don't have to be concerned.
Are you concerned about how you're going to play your prize picks with Aaron Rodgers playing his former team?
No, I'm actually very excited about that. We will take a long, hard look at that. But now is the best time of the year. Jesse just mentioned NBA season. Tipping off, NHL. Drop the puck. World Series action. Oh, it sounds sweet. Everything going on right now at Prize Picks is here for you to cash in while watching your favorite sports and teams. Which players are going off? Do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a big game? Is Jordan Love going to be able to escape T.J. Watt? You have all these great questions. You get to pick how it plays out, and hopefully you got to make sure that you're right. That is the fun part of Prize Picks. A great way to put it to the test. They also offer injury reboots. So, like last night, Mike Evans gets hurt, but reboot, no big deal. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account during the football season. Sign up for America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Use the code WI. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks is good
to be right. We'll see what the Packers view as being right about their kicking situation. Asked Matt Lafleur some questions about that yesterday. Curious what Tausch thinks of this line of questioning. We'll find out next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Now's the time to plan your total experience getaway to the Island Resort and Casino. With over 450 hotel rooms and a luxurious spa, relax in style before diving into nonstop casino action. Watch your favorite teams on the big screens and enjoy great food and drinks at T. McSee Sports Bar. Or savor top-tier dining at Horizon Steakhouse. Then amp up your night with live music and comedy. Head to where the big game, big wins, and big fun come together. The Island Resort and Casino.
Hey, it's your friend John McGivern. In a world full of chaos, I'm grateful for a health plan that has my back. Network Health is so reliable and trustworthy, they always put me and over 126,000 members first. It's just what they do and what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
Hi, it's Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch, inviting you to join me July 5th on a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. We'll take in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. Imagine standing before Big Ben in London, then later gazing out from Edinburgh Castle. So rich in history, it feels like you're stepping back in time. Along the way, we'll explore the storybook villages of Chester and Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon, places where every street seems to whisper a piece of history. And how about a scenic train ride through the rolling green hills that lead us right into the medieval city of York? It's all part of this incredible journey. From iconic landmarks to cozy villages, from bustling city streets to peaceful countryside views, you'll experience the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty, and create memories that last a lifetime. To learn more about this amazing adventure, text TRAVEL to 800-990-3776 or visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com for full details.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Make the best seat in the house yours. Carbless delivers the handcrafted cocktail experience right to your living room. Bold flavor, no carbs, no sugar, just 100 calories, and all the taste with none of the extra baggage. From kickoff to the final play, Carbless is your game day go-to. Hosting friends, watching with family, or celebrating every big drive, Carbless keeps the good times pouring. So when the game's on the line, make the winning call. Skip the mixing, grab the bliss, and make every seat the best seat in the house. Find Carbless near you at drinkcarbless.com.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Spaces are limited. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkeprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I don't wanna know what it's like when you're gone for good. You're slipping through my fingertips a little bit by a little bit. I didn't know the love of you was the happiest I've ever been. So I'm just trying to.
So the Packers currently have 2 kickers. That might seem like a good problem to have. That is one of my pet peeve phrases. It's a good problem to have. Because you're acknowledging in the words that it's still a problem. We know what's better? To not have a problem at all. But Matt Laflur doesn't see it as a problem right now. So here is how he and I went back and forth yesterday. Tausch, you and I are on the same page. Keep Lucas Havrisik. Because he is an asset at the moment.
Yes.
We also, I believe, are on the same page saying we're not going to dump Brandon McManus when he's fully healthy in favor of Lucas Havrisik, right?
Correct.
Okay. But we also pointed out yesterday when we were spending more time on the kicking situation than on Rashawn Gary, which, by the way, if they did trade Rashawn Gary, it would open up more opportunities for Kingsley Enagbare, who I know we're both impressed by. But we also pointed out that the current kicker, I guess he's not current, he's the one that's injured, Brandon McManus is 34. He's going to be 35 next July. So he's not a young man.
Kind of
Lucas Havrisik is 26.
Kind of expensive for a kicker, yeah.
Yeah. So these are all things that are kind of part of the equation. But nevertheless, Matt Lafleur sees this as very cut and dried. Here's why. Here's my Q&A with Matt Lafleur about the kicking situation. Coaches always talk about having a good problem to have. Is that what you have a kicker right now? How do you view your situation with 2 guys that can put it through the uprights really consistently?
I'd classify it just as that, a good problem.
Well, then it means it's still a problem, though. So
if you look at it that way, it's really not a problem right now because we've got one healthy kicker and the other guy's, fighting his way back.
So are you inclined to, if it was more inconsistent without Brandon, would you be more inclined to let him push to play, or how does that affect your decision making? The fact that Lucas has been as good as he's been.
Yeah, it's a great luxury, I would tell you. But certainly we've got to feel confident, and Brandon's got to feel confident that he can go out there and perform to the level that is what he's used to performing at. And it's always tough when you're dealing with an injury of a body part that you have to use in order to go out there and have success.
So, Tausch, I think you said this yesterday, and maybe I'm misremembering and someone else said this. I can't remember. But I think it was you who drew a very loose comparison to the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy. Am I remembering that wrong?
Continue, maybe. You have
well,
to
that basically, hey, J.J., take your time. Take your time with that ankle injury. Not that he's unproven like J.J. McCarthy is, but basically, hey, no need to rush back, right? We're doing okay with the guy that's filling in for you. And that was what the crux of my question was if Lucas Havrisik was Braden Narveson right now, Do you think that they'd be saying, all right, if you think you could kick through this quadriceps injury, we're going to need you to do that because we just lost to the Arizona Cardinals because our kicker missed an extra point and a makeable field goal, right? So that,
Correct.
to me, is why they are where they are, because Lucas Haversick's been really good. Made a 61-yarder. Now, this program needs to be careful because we do have a premature crowning history here, including of this Packers defense. I was guilty of that. 85 Bears. Jeff Hafley, if Packers fans want Jeff Hafley as the defensive coordinator moving forward for another year, they're doing a good job of it. They're putting themselves in position for him to be good enough to be the defensive coordinator, but not good enough to be a head coach somewhere else. Bottom line, though, is that if Lucas Haversick keeps kicking and making all of his kicks, then you don't need to rush Brandon McManus back. And that is, I suppose, a good problem to have. How do you view it?
Yeah. I also noticed Lafleur kind of urinated in your Cheerios about you being Johnny positive. Did you notice that too?
I did not notice that, no.
You're saying it's a good problem to have, but it's still a problem, and you sound like Morgan Wallen over there. And Lafleur basically said, well, that's if you want to look at it from that lens.
I think of it more
which
as
means
Taylor Swift. It's me, I'm the problem, it's me. But
no, or I think his tour was something about you're the problem when it comes to positivity and it was negatively toned.
I believe it was branded "I'm the Problem" tour, if I remember correctly.
Didn't you go to that show?
But nonetheless, Jason, who claimed to be Mr. Positivity yesterday, very clearly setting up the good problem to have is still a problem, not very positive at all.
I did.
So the point is
That's
still
what
there.
I was saying.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
That was my
Team
point.
Tausch on this one. Yeah.
All right, that's a win.
And also on Isotoner gloves.
The bottom line on it is, yes, if Havlicek was not kicking well, they would be what?
Nothing. I love how he's morphed into John Havlicek and Lucas Haversick. He has now become
Havlicek. I want to be respectful.
Haversick.
Because he's Havlicek. He has done a great job. And I love that story. He's substitute teaching, and then he's making kicks. He's hitting the longest field goal in the history of the organization. There's a lot of great things. If he was struggling, yes, they'd be saying, "Hey, B-Mac, let's go. Get your butt back out here."
Right.
Now they have that luxury. And the question will be when B-Mac gets back, what are you doing with old boy? I mean, that's really what the question is going to be. And that's when it's going to be interesting because
sounds like
plenty
a problem.
of teams need kicking. No, it's not a problem. It will be a how do we want to approach this? The only way it would be bad is if you end up getting rid of him for nothing and he becomes a star kicker for Detroit or Chicago or Philly or somebody that can come back and beat. That would be.
And Brandon McManus struggles.
I don't believe. Right now, if you had to say, Havlicek is on this football team for the whole season, yes or no?
No.
I think he is.
For the remainder of the year?
Yep. Either as a practice squad member or a
well, you can't get him to the practice squad without cutting him, though. So if you cut him, somebody's going to claim him at this point, right?
Maybe. You don't know that.
Yeah, I don't. You're right. I definitely don't know that.
I think Goody has been really smart about who he knows has a big value and who will get snapped up. And I believe the fact that they only got 51 guys, they got 2 slots that they're playing with.
Well, no, because they added they added Jacob
right?
Monk.
Well, how many
back.
they got?
I will fact check that. They may be at 53 now.
That's still 53 with both. I think he is too valuable unless he struggles immensely in Pittsburgh. I don't know how you could get rid of him. Because you know what happens with older players when they have muscle pulls?
They continue to be an issue.
It does not usually just snap your fingers and go away.
No, you're right.
And if you have a championship team and you have a guy that you feel like is very dependable at a very important place, you don't get rid of those people. So Yes, I think he's going to be on the roster the rest of the season.
All right, we need to. We're way behind here, and I do want to get to a couple other things that we talked about with Matt Lafleur, and we want to get to Jesse's favorite thing about Tuesday's power rankings. I watched some of those Jones Dairy Farm videos. You were not overselling them. They're great. You guys did a great job on them, and they do a great job at Jones Dairy Farm.
Well, we had a great dish last night. I don't know if you guys have tried their pork.
Braunschweiger?
All natural. No, the pork. It's pork sausage. They have chicken and turkey, but we had a dish last night that I told Sarah was her best she's ever made. And, of course, it was the pork sausage.
Well, she's not being banned from the kitchen.
Well, she's passed. She's passed. This was more stovetop than it was in the oven. But our kids said the same thing. It was phenomenal. It goes in, and it was some type of an orchetta with some spinach. It was, but it's the all-natural pork sausage. It's got a little bit of kick, and it was just a little crispy on the fry of it. It was beautiful. And, of course, Jones Dairy Farm, they have it all natural sausage, pork, chicken, turkey, the whole deal, all with the original family recipe. None of those fillers, nitrates, MSG, none of that stuff, all natural. You go ahead, find your Jones Dairy product at jonesdairyfarm.com. We've got another big video shoot coming up we're excited about. We got a special guest star, non-family this time, that will be out there. I can't
Farmer
tell much
Jones?
More. Maybe. We'll see. And then, of course, we have Max coming up later in the shooting season. So,
Jace Rindall, UW Whitewater head football coach.
How are they doing?
Big win last week.
Everyone
I know
in the
you've been an
conference,
avid fan, Jason. So,
like, all the teams in the conference are tied except for two for first place. Like, everybody's like 4-1 or 5-1. I saw the other day.
Claire's having a tough go of it, right?
Yeah, I think Eau Claire and Stevens Point might be the two that are the odd ones out. But then there's like this circle, this loop of WIAC football where Whitewater beat whoever, they beat Platteville beat Oshkosh, however it worked out. Everybody's beaten each other once. It's crazy.
Eau Claire and Stevens Point are winless. The other 6 teams are all 2-1 in the conference.
Yeah, competitive.
So there you have it. More Wilde and Tausch talking WIAC football next, so stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My new friend Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The 24th annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Baird Center. Green Bay Packers all-time leading receiver and Super Bowl champion Donald Driver will be the featured guest and keynote speaker. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp's STEAM-based education program to thousands of K-3 through 5th grade students and educators across Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
We all have someone we know or love that has been affected by some form of cancer.
No matter how well you love and support them and try to be there for them, you can never really know what a person is feeling after hearing the words, "You have breast cancer."
Only another person that has been through this experience can really understand what it feels like.
ABCD, After Breast Cancer Diagnosis, is a Milwaukee-based organization known around the world.
When someone calls ABCD, they are matched with a mentor who is a breast cancer survivor of similar age and has the same type of breast cancer who can provide hope when people need it the most.
Kessler's is excited to announce that we've designed 3 new Hope pendants to honor breast cancer patients, survivors, thrivers, and caregivers.
100% of the net proceeds, along with an additional donation from Kessler's, will support ABCD when you purchase the symbol of hope.
You can find a link with more information about ABCD, along with all 3 modern designs starting at just $75 in sterling silver and $598 in gold, online at KesslersDiamonds.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Middleton's Joey Passaglia. Passaglia is a senior on the Middleton football team and is the starting quarterback and captain for the Cardinals. In a 56-7 win over Madison Lafayette, Passaglia had 4 total touchdowns, 3 passing and 1 rushing. Through 7 weeks of the season, Passaglia has over 1,700 total yards of offense with 17 total touchdowns and 129 completions. Off the football field, he's also a star on the baseball diamond for the Cardinals. Congrats to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Middleton High School's Joey Passaglia.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 15.75 ounce selected varieties Frito-Lay Cheetos, Fritos, Smart Food, or Tostitos dip, 2 for $7. 64 ounce or 8-pack selected varieties Juicy Juice, 2 for $5.50. 8.2 to 18 ounce selected varieties C-Pack frozen seafood, $5.99. 6 count selected varieties Bay's English muffins, $2.99.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh. Oh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
Enter by November 12th.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
All right, one more thing from yesterday with Matt Lafleur, and I learned this from Mark Tauscher many years ago, and apparently Matt Lafleur learned it from Mike Shanahan, because for a team that won the game, speaking of people that are positive or negative, Matt Lafleur has sounded particularly negative, both after the game and again yesterday, about the way his team is playing, despite being, as Tausch and Evan Cohen and apparently Dan Graziano pointed out, right now, if the season ended today, they'd be the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Let's go.
Here's Matt Lafleur talking about coaching guys hard after wins. Now, why is it, I don't want to say easier, but better for coaches to be able to coach hard after a win? Because you've said that before, like, if you guys lose that game, you still want to get the same things corrected, but it's a what kind of approach are you able to take? Because you still found a way to win, even though you're not perfect.
Yeah, I mean, because people are a little bit, I mean, winning can mask a lot of things if you would allow it to. But inevitably, if these things are going to show up down the road, so you got to make sure, whether it's a win or a loss, you still got to correct. There's a lot of things to be corrected. But I think that, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think just working for Mike Shanahan, that was always when you could be toughest on your team, was after a win. And that's because guys are probably happy and not as down. There's a lot of time, energy, and effort that goes into this thing. And it's natural when you care about something so much and you put everything into it and you don't get the outcome that you want, there's some disappointment there. So not that you turn a blind eye to correcting things, you certainly address, but I do think you can be a little bit more hard when addressing those issues after a win.
So, Tausch, when you look at where this team is, how hard does he need to be on them to get them to where they need to be?
I think he needs to push here a little bit because the things that have gone wrong, it's penalties. You're still not executing consistently enough, and you don't want to beat people into the dirt, but you want to continue to emphasize the little things that will make a big difference, and whether that's route depth or ball placement or continuing to go for turnovers with what was that whole deal that they did during training camp?
The ball king.
The ball king. You put all that emphasis during camp. You want to start seeing some of the results. And right now, those are the things that I think you really want to focus on, because I think Matt Laflur realizes they're very fortunate to be where they're at, which is the number 1 seed, because they have not played consistently strong football for a game yet, really, since Detroit. So that is the best place to be as a coach, is that you can you're not having to build guys back up and kind of be a little Wilde-ish, where it's like patting him on the keister and, little Johnny, here,
very
grab
positive.
An orange slice. Things are going to be okay. It's more, all right, this is good. We're trending, but if we want to get where we need to go, we need to refocus and get this stuff corrected, and we need to do it yesterday. And I think that's where coaches love living, because coaches are paranoid. If things are going too good, they are looking over their shoulders saying, what's coming down the hill? Because every coach knows it's never going to be easy.
Right.
Nothing is ever going to be easy. And when you're sitting here and you feel like you haven't played your best and you're 4-1-1 at the top of the conference, you're kind of almost looking like it might almost feel a little imposter-y.
Yeah.
At this point.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And that's not bad. Joe Thomas made his whole career on an imposter deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a bad spot to be, but you want to get confidence. You want guys to have a ton of confidence every week that if we do what we do, we're going to win football games. And I think that team has that already. Now it's just cleaning stuff up. You can't win a ton of games with 16 penalties. You're just not going to beat good teams consistently. And I think Arizona's a better team than we all give them credit for, too.
Yeah, he said that yesterday.
Well, I would agree with him.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
It's 10:58. We got another segment to go, man.
I'm actually saying, yep, let's get this thing moving.
Well, I never know. It's hard to read your imitation of my myips.
If I go myrp, that's a little different than
yerp or nerp or myrp.
A subtle myp is an acknowledgement. All right, I think we're done here.
We're going to get to Power Rankings Tuesday next. But if it's talking about banks and their customer service, well, Associated Bank's ranked at the top of those power rankings. They've got the awards to prove it. Plus, they've got Packers, Badgers, and Brewers checking. They've got early pay. They've got credit monitoring. They've got fraud protection. They've got everything you want. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch to Associated Bank. Go to AssociatedBank.com to do so. Power Rankings Tuesdays next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by two locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by Fifth Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Zero restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
Shop the Pig!
The new Piggly Wiggly Pig Points program is here, and earning rewards just got easier. Now you'll earn 10 Pig Points for every $1 you spend, and redeem those points on your favorite products right in the store. It's simple, it's rewarding, and it's all right here at your neighborhood Piggly Wiggly. So shop more, earn more, and save more only at Piggly Wiggly. Sign up today at shopthepig.com.
Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig!
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
When you're injured, you want quick, specialized care, not a long ER wait. The orthopedic care specialists at Ortho ASAP treat fractures, sprains, strains, sports injuries, and more right away. With on-site x-rays and expert care, Ortho ASAP gets you back on track faster. Open 7 days a week with locations in Brookfield and Pewaukee, it's more affordable than the ER. Walk in, get treated, and get back to life. Ortho ASAP. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Big ideas deserve a big story and the right audience. At Saturn Lounge, we bring your marketing to life with branding, websites, digital marketing, and video storytelling that stands out from the crowd. Whether it's a TV spot, a campaign, or content built to connect, Saturn Lounge is where strategy meets creativity. From the first spark of an idea to the final cut, we're here to make your message shine across every platform. Ready to make your marketing a success? Step into the spotlight with Saturn Lounge, your launchpad for bigger, better marketing. To tell the world your story, visit SaturnLounge.com today.
Looking to heat up a career in HVAC? Dick & Trauff Heating and Cooling in Milwaukee is now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Family owned and operated, Dick & Trauff offers competitive wages, a 401k match, health insurance benefits, and a winning, positive team culture that sets them apart. This is more than a job. It's a chance to grow with a company that truly values its people. Apply now to become their newest team member at dickandtrauff.com. Dick & Trauff Heating and Cooling. Come see the difference. Apply at dickandtrauff.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, confession time. I read this week's power rankings, so I know where the Packers are.
Okay.
And it's interesting. It's very interesting.
Come on. Why do you do that?
Because I like to read.
It's fun to unveil them with you guys.
I know, but I'm a reader. I'm a voracious reader, and I'm very positive. Time now for our ESPN NFL Power Rankings.
Tausch, since the game is only for you, how would you like to go about guessing or commenting on the power rankings?
Why don't you just tell me where they are?
I'll just guess the top 5.
All right, let's hear it. Give me your top 5, and then I will unveil how close you are to ESPN's top 5.
You want mine or what I think they're going to be? Because they're going to have Indy as number 1.
They are not.
I don't.
They are not going to have Indy at number 1.
Oh, they don't. They have Kansas City at number 1.
Still wrong.
You're guessing again. Just tell us who your top 5 is, and then we'll compare. That seems to work better.
All right, I have Kansas City at number 1. I have Indianapolis at number 2. I will have Green Bay at 3. I will have Detroit at 4. And at 5, I'll put Philadelphia. That's my top 5.
All right, so the good news is you have 3 of the top 5 teams correctly guessed, and you have 1 of them in the exact position.
That's the good news?
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad.
The number...
You got 60% of it right only. That's like a D.
The number 1 team, well, if you're there's 1 point for getting the team and then 1 point for getting it in the right spot. So I'd give them a C on it. C's get degrees. Number 1, the Detroit Lions in this week's ESPN NFL Nation Power Rankings. Despite not being first in their conference or in their own division, the Lions check in at number 1.
Hey, didn't they lose to somebody early in the year, too?
They did. Yeah, they did. Number
G&G.
Number 2, the Indianapolis Colts. That's the one you got spot on. They are number 2. Number 3, where you had the Green Bay Packers in your rankings, is where the Philadelphia Eagles land in ESPN's rankings. So that's your top 3. Lions.
I won't argue with that.
Lions, Colts, Eagles.
Oh, my.
Number 4, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Nah.
Falling to 5-2 with a loss to the Lions on Monday Night Football last night.
They were number 1 last week.
They were. And your number 5 team, fresh off a big victory across the pond, the Los Angeles Rams, in at number 5.
For sure.
Devontae still got it.
Yeah, he seems pretty good.
Number 6, because I know you're wondering, the Buffalo Bills. Number 7, your number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. In at 7 off a 31-0 shutout win over the Raiders.
They had been number 9 the previous week.
And that means down 2 spots from number
After a
6
win.
to number 8, the Green Bay Packers. 8th in the ESPN NFL Nation Power Rankings this week.
What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's all short-sighted. I get it. The Chiefs have the championship pedigree. I probably went Philly at 5 because they can't run the football, man. Like, that team is built on running the football, and they can't. Like, they can't at all. So I don't trust them, even though I'm a nut whack guy. I don't trust their running the football. I'll be curious in a couple weeks for that Green Bay-Philly matchup. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But Green Bay is the number 1 seed in the conference, man. I think that matters.
Apparently not.
We are a results business. This isn't just who looks pretty and all the vanity and all this other cute stuff. I get that the eye test is in play, but at some point you got to look at the standings, people, because the standings usually 1 and 2 seeds typically end up going to the Super Bowl. Now, I know the Packers had 1 seeds twice and didn't, and I've heard plenty about it, and that's fair. But it usually matters. And through 7 weeks or 7 games, 6 games, I guess, for the G&G, they're the best. They have the best winning percentage, which is what this goes off of, and a win against this group's number 1. The math ain't mathin', as we like to put it. The math ain't mathin'.
In fairness, there are 6 other NFC teams that have more wins than the Green Bay Packers. But the Packers are the number 1 seed if the season were to end today.
Have I not taught you guys? This is so irritating.
It's the loss column.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, well, I would like an official apology from you two then, because you, especially you, old T, you came on here after that Cowboys game and said that tie was a loss for the Packers. Very clearly,
emotionally,
that was not a loss because they're in first place in the conference because of it.
Emotionally, it was a loss. We're a better team, and our defense filled its britches. So they felt like it was a loss, but no. A tie's a tie. That's why Laflur played for the tie instead of the win.
It's like kissing your
instead
cousin.
Of the loss. That tie was a loss at that point, but when the standings come out, the reason you kick the field goal and don't throw a Hail Mary is because you know it matters. It mattered back when Matt Flynn led the squad back against the Vikings.
It's true.
You don't want to tie. And when you're a really good team that you think you should beat and you tie, you feel like you lost. We all felt like it was a loss, but 2 weeks later, that tie, as Jesse just eloquently put, puts our loss column, which is what matters, because other teams play more games, and you guys, I don't know why you guys have such a hard time understanding that.
Let me interrupt so you can tell us about Kohler Services in a second. But Ron in the key is yelling at you in the YouTube comments. In all caps, you do not believe Green Bay is better than Detroit right now or the Chiefs. You believe today.
I don't believe they're better than the Chiefs. I didn't rank them higher.
I'm just reading what he wrote. So you do.
Well, I don't want Ron sewering me. I didn't say that.
You believe right now at 11:11 on Tuesday, October 21st, year of our Lord 2025, that the Green Bay Packers are better than the Detroit Lions at this exact moment.
Yes, absolutely yes. Yes. We're more talented. We have more talent.
Not sure I agree.
Our quarterback's better. I watched Goff spin it away twice last night. Jared Goff is how great was Jared Goff when he played our defense? Was he Charlie Checkdown or was he Jared Goff?
He was not very good in the opener. I would say that teams evolve, though, over the course of the season, and they do appear to have evolved in a positive manner largely.
Sure,
whereas the Packers'
defense shut down.
seems to have devolved a bit. The Packers' defense seems to have devolved a bit from what they were that opener.
As I sit here today, I think it is a coin toss. I think they're both, as I said, after we crushed them, don't count out Detroit because we just beat them. But that game mattered. And we're ahead of them. Now, when that switches, if it does, I will adjust. But do I think Green Bay can beat Detroit? Absolutely I can because I saw it.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you
eyes.
if they're better today at this moment.
Well,
okay.
At some point, we have to go with what actually happens. This isn't college football where you take a 13-0 Florida State team and say, no, their quarterback's out, we can't play. Results matter. And if they don't, let's not play games. Let's just all sit here on Tuesdays and say, well, I think they could beat these guys. Well, I think this. Well, no. Results are what they are. We kicked Detroit's keister, and our record's better than theirs is. So do I think they can win and they're better? The results say they are. Because you struggled against Cleveland. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? It happens. Weekly, this stuff does happen. And Detroit is still a really good team that could beat Green Bay. And yes, I don't poo-poo Detroit at all. But you're acting like I'm saying I'm splitting the atom tomorrow. They've beaten them, and they could beat them again. Yes.
Make your bathroom and shower, and bathtub better because the results matter.
He get me all riled up and Ron. Now he's going to say to hit 12, not versus the 13. He's going to tell me that aces shouldn't go against kings, queens.
Hey, by the way, I hit a 12 against a 13 and lost bad yesterday. So whoever gave us that advice, terrible.
But you didn't get any noodles.
It's not the results. Don't play the results. Enjoy the process. And you want great results? Kohler Services has you covered. Refreshing offer right now with a great result of a bath or shower remodel from our friends at Kohler Services. And this month only, you get 0 interest financing for 12 months, plus a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My old buddy Chris from Oostburg, one of their many skilled installers. They'll come and demo your bath or shower, remove it, dispose of it, before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote. You get fast professional installation. That is always included. Again, that is KohlerServicesWI.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch will begin in 2 minutes, believe it or not. So please stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hi, it's Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch, inviting you to join me July 5th on a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette.
We'll take in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. Imagine standing before Big Ben in London, then later gazing out from Edinburgh Castle. So rich in history, it feels like you're stepping back in time. Along the way, we'll explore the storybook villages of Chester and Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon, places where every street seems to whisper a piece of history. And how about a scenic train ride through the rolling green hills that lead us right into the medieval city of York? It's all part of this incredible journey. From iconic landmarks to cozy villages, from bustling city streets to peaceful countryside views, you'll experience the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty, and create memories that last a lifetime. To learn more about this amazing adventure, text TRAVEL to 800-990-3776 or visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com for full details.
The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra. At 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, it's a superior smooth taste worth playing for. Grab a Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer as you cheer your team on. Michelob Ultra, official sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy a Michelob Ultra at Kelly's Bleachers Big Ben, Distillery Richfield, Tom's Watch Bar in Milwaukee, and Maddie's in New Berlin. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and football season is here. Are you ready to make money betting on sports? Are you ready to make a winning decision? Are you going to gamble for fun, or are you going to gamble for money? This year, make that decision that will build your bankroll all year long. Go to FatJackSports.com, and for less than $100 a week, make money betting on the games. That's FatJackSports.com. It's a personal portal. It comes to your email. It's hassle-free. It'll make you money. FatJackSports.com.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
O'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, and I just heard it in the ESPN Madison Sports Center, so I want Jesse to play this again about Barry Alvarez talking about how if you never played and you never coached, the first thing you say is, let's fire people.
Your cage. That rattles your cage a little bit there, doesn't it?
Maybe a little. Here's Barry Alvarez on the Barry Alvarez Show, or the Jesse Nelson Show with Barry Alvarez, Tarek Saleh, and Derek Engler, live from the Hard Rock Casino Rockford last night.
If you've never played, if you've never coached, the first thing you do, things go south a little bit, fire everybody. Then what the hell are you going to do? You're going to bring some knuckleheads in here that don't know anything about anything, and you start all over again. Then you're worse than where you started. So you hire people, and you believe in them, you stick with them, and support them until the time comes, if that comes, that you know that they can't get the job.
Hey, Coach. All right, so if I may, I think it's hard for me to say that things have gone a little south, coming off of back-to-back shutout losses at home with a road game at Oregon at Autzen Stadium up next. First. Secondly, when he and I applaud him for this because he acknowledged his mistake as the athletic director, but when he didn't stand by Gary Anderson for a long time, he recognized. And I'm not saying that this is Gary Anderson 2.0. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know enough about it to be able to say that. Luke Fickell is, in my opinion, on paper, much more qualified. But again, his success at Cincinnati was not during this NIL transfer portal era. I do think that's important to point out. That said, Barry Alvarez didn't stand by Gary Anderson when Gary Anderson wasn't recruiting Wisconsin offensive linemen and changed the brand of what type of football they were going to play. So if you make a mistake, you don't keep living with the mistake. Ron Wolf taught us that. I'm not saying that they should fire Luke Fickell. That is not what I'm saying. But for Barry to dismiss the idea of making a change and that you're going to get some, as he called them, knuckleheads and you're worse off than you were before. The old Ron Wolf belief is you fire quick and hire slow. You make sure you hire the right person. And whether or not they did is open to debate. There is no debate that things are not going a little bit south. Things have gone poorly. That's why the letter was published by the athletic director. Everyone recognizes that. My point is simply, let's not dismiss people that are suggesting that a change is in order. I understand he's not in the same spot as you are, but he is in a delicate spot, especially after the boo in a bar, don't come to games thing of a couple weeks ago. I totally get it.
Go boo in a bar.
So,
but let's
from
not
his
do this.
perspective, I think what Barry is saying, and I was critical of Coach when he said the boo in a bar thing. I couldn't be critical because it's just too funny.
Go boo in a bar.
The other stuff was obviously it was misguided. In this regard, I think the point that he's making is it's not just, well, everything's going to be great if you do this. If you get rid of coaches and administrators, who do you replace and how do you go about doing that? It's not just, boom, move it along.
Right.
And he sat in both of those chairs, and I think he understood them. By the way, I don't believe he fired Gary Anderson. Gary Anderson left. Now, whether or not, no, what do you want to say? I don't know. Maybe you have more inner workings. Gary Anderson, I don't think, felt comfortable and was not. Maybe there was more conversations, but he left.
He did.
That is a whole different conversation than when you decide to fire someone. And Mac fired Paul Christ, right?
He did.
And then it was, all right, what are you going to do? And by all accounts, everybody was excited when Mac made the hire that he did. And obviously it is not gone. Well, like anybody wanted to.
I wasn't excited.
But for everybody out there, I am not telling fans. I want fans to speak their mind. Brad Nortman went off yesterday.
He did.
I heard his clip.
Yeah.
He went off. Fans have a right to you have your feelings, and you can feel very strongly about it, and you can still look at it and say, all right, well, that's your prerogative. What do you do next? And that's what Barry is saying there.
Okay, fair enough. We need to play trivia. Jesse, what's our category and what caller would you like?
Badgers Trivia Tuesday.
Did Gary Anderson leave ahead of the posse that was going to fire him? I don't know. That's not a question. What caller would you like?
How many big
You always say words matter, don't you?
You're right. Hey, no.
Matter
that was a very fair correction. That's a very fair correction.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you.
The Packers were 8th in the power rankings this week. Let's do caller number 8.
I kind of feel like if we're doing where people are in the standings, or it's Badgers trivia.
The highest number in craps is 12. We could do 12.
No, we'll just do 8. You asked for 8. We'll do 8.
Derek Engler, I think, was a big winner at the craps table with the number 8 last night. So however that works,
8 it is.
8 seems like a good number.
8 it is. Caller 8 right now, 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 8 plays trivia. By the way, that's the same number that you could text the word travel to. Travel. 844-770-3776 to find out more about our journey to see the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. We're going to be taking in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities, standing in front of Big Ben, and then staring out of Edinburgh Castle. It's going to be a beautiful time. We can't wait. We leave on July 5th, and you can be part of it as well with Colette. We'll visit the storybook villages of Chester and Tausch's favorite place, Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon. We'll also take a scenic train ride through the rolling hills leading to the medieval city of York. It's all part of this incredible journey. Iconic landmarks, cozy villages, bustling city streets, peaceful countryside views. We'll experience all the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty. Again, text TRAVEL to 844-770-3776 to have the information sent to you, or just go to ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com. That's ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com for more details. We'll play trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Now's the time to plan your total experience getaway to the Island Resort and Casino. With over 450 hotel rooms and a luxurious spa, relax in style before diving into nonstop casino action. Watch your favorite teams on the big screens and enjoy great food and drinks at T. McSee's Sports Bar, or savor top-tier dining at Horizon Steakhouse. Then amp up your night with live music and comedy. Head to where the big game, big wins, and big fun come together. The Island Resort and Casino.
Ready to watch the Packers like a VIP? Cousins Subs put you in the center of it all, on the 50-yard line in plush recliner seats, complete with personal TVs and your favorites delivered from Cousins Subs. 2 pairs of fans are selected before each regular season home game to enjoy this one-of-a-kind experience. Enter daily to win the best seats in the house, only from Cousins Subs. Cousins Subs. We believe in better. See rules and eligibility for details.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
Just what everybody planned for. A kicking controversy in Green Bay after 7 weeks. Veteran kicker Brandon McManus has been sidelined with a right quad injury each of the last 2 weeks. And new kicker Lucas Haversek a perfect 10 for 10 on field goals and extra points combined, including the new franchise record, 61-yard field goal he hit on Sunday against Arizona. Head coach Matt Laflur.
It's a great luxury, I would tell you, but certainly we've got to feel confident, and Brandon's got to feel confident that he can go out there and perform to the level that what he's used to performing at.
Time will tell who's handling booting the ball Sunday in Pittsburgh.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Why Z-Bart? Because you have a manly truck that you do manly things with. And you don't want the truck bed getting all beat up. You want Rhino Liner by Z-Bart to keep your truck bed man-proof. So man up and ask for Rhino Liner by Z-Bart.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
playing catch up because of my clock management skills. Well, it's not all my fault. Let's play some trivia presented by Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is presented by Cousin Subs. Crispy chicken tenders are now available at Cousin Subs. Order today in store at cousinsubs.com or with the Cousins app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
It is Badgers Trivia Tuesday, and one of Jesse's neighbors in the greater Sun Prairie Metroplex. Our contestant is Daniel. Daniel, good morning. How are you?
Doing fantastic, sir. How about yourself?
We are good. Thanks for asking. All right, here we go. It is Badgers Trivia. Question number 1 is this. What is the name of the 4th-string Badgers running back who had 4 carries for 35 yards in Saturday's loss to Ohio State at Camp Randall Stadium? Is it Gideon Ituka, David Archuleta, or Clay Aiken?
We're going to go with Clay Aiken.
Clay Aiken was once a contestant, I believe, on America's
Idol.
Got Talent.
American Idol, yeah.
American Idol. I was one of, I knew I had a 50-50 chance.
As was David Archuleta.
Yeah. Good one, Jesse. Great question.
Yeah, good one, Jesse.
Definitely not up north Joe.
Nicely, well played. How late into Badgers Buckeyes would I have to stay tuned in to have caught Gideon's performance?
The third quarter.
I was long gone by
I
then.
mean, we didn't talk a ton about the game.
At that point, Bollinger and Davenport were in the radio booth.
It kind of stunted that part. It gave the nuts and bolts of what. But Gideon did have a couple of nice plays.
All right, question 2.
I thought Danny O'Neal was hurt. That's why we had Simmons playing, but who knows?
No.
Apparently not. Things are going well. But hey, we're going to hire knuckleheads, so don't fire anybody. All right, question 2, Daniel.
The bar.
Is this. Which of these former Oregon quarterbacks finished 4th in the Heisman voting in 2001, which was also the last time Wisconsin played a football game on the road in Eugene? Was that quarterback Marcus Mariota, Dennis Dixon, or Joey Harrington?
2001, Marcus Mariota's been in the league, but not that long. Can you repeat your other?
Your other 2 choices. You're doing a great job of deductive reasoning. Your other 2 choices, Dennis Dixon or Joey Harrington.
Well, let's go A.
Well, wait, A was Marcus Mariota, so B is Dennis Dixon, C is Joe. Okay, so you're going Dennis Dixon?
Let's do Dennis Dixon.
Are you sure?
You should go Joey Harrington.
They called him Joey Heisman during his Heisman campaign. They put a big billboard in Times Square.
Yeah, great Lions quarterback. Great Lions quarterback for a while.
His nickname among
us.
His
nickname,
nickname
he's a great quarterback for us.
For you, yeah, for sure. His nickname with the Ducks from his teammates was Princess, because he was a lot like me, high maintenance. Question 3, as you bounce back here, Daniel, and hopefully we get this one right.
Doesn't seem like a very nice nickname.
It was said in with nothing but love. Question 3. Wisconsin is one of 5 teams yet to win a game in Big Ten Conference play this season.
So we're not alone.
Which of these teams has won a Big Ten game this year? Is it Michigan State, Penn State, or Washington?
I'm going to go with Washington. I believe I know Washington beat Penn State, so that's... One in a row, baby. One in a row.
Washington did not beat Penn State, but they have won 2 games against somebody, so...
Hey, that's fine. One in a row, baby.
Yeah. So, Penn State, Michigan State's got to play Penn State at some point, right? So somebody will get a win.
I believe they play each other later this year.
As opposed to the Badgers. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. Penn State's upcoming games are against Ohio State, followed by Indiana. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare. I don't even know who their interim coach is. All right, Daniel, you got 1 out of 3. The very rare first 2 wrong, last 1 right. So you've got 2 entries into our drawing on Friday. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Bye. Love you guys.
Bye. Love you guys.
That was quite a ride, I thought.
That was fun. Yeah, he was fun.
Clay Aiken.
I did not. That was a surprise. That was a surprise. But hey, if you weren't watching the third quarter, you might not have known either, and I didn't. I just knew the other 2 guys were on American Idol. We will get to our version of American Idol. I don't know. That's a bad segue. Jesse's next with Whoa Nelly. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Just what everybody planned for. A kicking controversy in Green Bay after 7 weeks. Veteran kicker Brandon McManus has been sidelined with a right quad injury each of the last 2 weeks, and new kicker Lucas Haversek a perfect 10 for 10 on field goals and extra points combined, including the new franchise record 61-yard field goal he hit on Sunday against Arizona. Head coach Matt Laflur.
It's a great luxury, I would tell you, but certainly we've got to feel confident, and Brandon's got to feel confident that he can go out there and perform to the level that what he's used to performing at.
Time will tell who's handling booting the ball Sunday in Pittsburgh.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Little by little, some banks are pecking away at your balance with fees on their checking. You need an account with no monthly fee. Make the switch to Tri-City. Tri-City National Bank. Member FDIC.
Timeout on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Zero restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
It's homecoming this weekend at UW Whitewater. Make plans to cheer on your Warhawks when they welcome in UW Platteville in a top 15 battle on Saturday at 1 p.m. The annual George Christ Memorial Bowl game features a pair of top 15 ranked teams. Get tickets now at uwwsports.com. Experience national championship level college football this Saturday when the Warhawks welcome in the Pioneers to Perkins Stadium. Kickoff at 1 p.m. For tickets to this rivalry game, go to uwwsports.com. Warhawk football powered by tradition.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWspinecenter.com. That's OAWspinecenter.com.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and when it comes to my home, I want a team that I can trust, and that's Lifetime Home Services. From cleaner air and radon safety to custom closets and electrical work, they do it all under one roof. What I'm most excited about right now is their epoxy floors. They make your garage clean, durable, and organized, with shelving and storage to get everything off the floor. For over 30 years, families have trusted Lifetime Home Services to make their homes safer and better looking. Trusted solution, lifetime results. Schedule today at lifetimehomeservices.com.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
I feel so stuck. The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
ESPN.
Call you up in the middle of the night, like a firefly without a light. You were there like a blowtorch burning. I was a key that could use a little turning. So tired that I couldn't even sleep. So many
time now for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Wonelli
on Wilde and Tausch.
All right, who wants to join my club?
Not me.
I would much rather lose the way that the Brewers lost in the NLCS in 4 games, getting dominated by Ohtani and the Dodgers pitchers, than the way that the Seattle Mariners lost in agonizing fashion in Game 7 after taking a 3-2 series lead. With a lead in the 7th inning, giving up a 3-run home run to George Springer and the Toronto Blue Jays in the bottom of the 7th. Blue Jays go on to win Game 7, setting up a Toronto-LA World Series.
So is this coming from a fan's perspective or a player's perspective?
Jesse's not a player.
Why don't you share with us what the... Well, I was a bowler in Muskego.
Could play second base for the
I could play second
Mallards.
base for an inning for the Mallards. Tell us both.
Yeah, good answer, Jesse.
It's obviously more painful this way. There's no doubt about it. And I think most of the time we go through life and we are trying to not inflict
Avoid
as much pain as we can. So I think the easy answer here is that you wouldn't. But from my perspective, you either want it and you want to get it done and have opportunities, understanding you're going to get some scars and you're going to have some things happen that suck. So for the Mariners, I don't know if they'll get back. I'd much rather not. Like, from the Brewers' standpoint, it was such a dudder. Wouldn't you rather have those great moments leading into, even though you get gutted? We didn't have anything. What are we hanging our hat on from that series? I don't even think we'll talk about it existing.
You're right.
At least in the Game 7, we lost Puig, and I don't even know who else beat us down at AmFam Field. Right now, there ain't nothing. Like, it was almost like it didn't even happen. It's going to be, we beat the Cubs in the 5th. All right, great. I want the pain. I want the pain because it sucks, but it's memorable, and you at least had the chance. We didn't even have a chance to have a chance. Give me the chance to have a chance, even though it's going to be scarry and a little painful.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the idea of not talking about it and talking about how they beat the Cubs. because I had the Game 7 on, and boy, that is walk to they had a walk, a base hit, and then a 3-run homer to go from up 3-1 to down 4-3 in Game 7.
Did you see the stat? It is the second time in MLB history in a winner-take-all game that there was a go-ahead home run when a team was down by more than 1 run in the 7th inning or later. Does that make sense?
So like if you were down 3 and the guy hits a grand slam, or if you're down 2 and you hit a 3-run homer like they did.
The only other time it happened was Pete Alonso against the Brewers last year.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa, Jason, would you rather your kid just play in a bunch of like nice games and then they get knocked out in the first round or miss a free throw? I'm asking like because it's not an easy question.
No, it's not.
Or you put her on the line, and if she makes 2 free throws, Schwaben goes on to state. But if she misses, it's over. Sectional finals. Everybody's celebrating at their court. What would you want?
I'm pleading the 5th.
Whoa, Nelly!
I don't know.
That's a really hard question.
Yes.
That's a really hard question.
Because you're not a fan, that's the only way I can get to your fan.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did a great job.
So I think it deserves an answer.
You can think whatever you want.
I agree. It does deserve an answer.
You can think whatever you want, too.
Jesse, do you think so? You'd rather it not be painful, it just completely non-memorable, be done?
The Packers NFC Championship loss to the Falcons was much easier to process than the 2014 loss to the Seahawks.
Well, no blank.
And that's the similarity here. The Brewers were the Packers against the Falcons, and the Mariners were the Packers against the Seahawks.
So I think the critical piece, and Tausch's question is great. I may be dodging it, but it is a great question, is if you lose the game, this heart-wrenching game, and your child or you are the one who makes the losing play, is different than, like, hey, if I'm the center fielder for the Mariners, I'm not the one who threw the pitch that ended in the 3-run home run. So I have a different type of disappointment. Like, I'm watching, on your recommendation, I'm watching Comeback, the documentary series on the 2004 Boston Red Sox. And the Game 7 loss they have to the Yankees in the 03 ALCS. And Howard Bryant makes a great point later in it about how the Yankees didn't even win the World Series that year. The Florida Marlins did. At Yankee Stadium, they won the decisive game, but nobody remembers that, except Marlins fans, and maybe was Craig Counsell there at that time. But what they remember is Game 7, and there's a scene where the late Tim Wakefield, who comes in after winning Game 1 and Game 4, they lose the game, and he's the losing pitcher, and he is absolutely inconsolable. And obviously they play like a clip of him talking, but he passed away a couple years ago. And like his catcher, Mirabelli's talking about how they win that Game 7, and Tim Wakefield is the MVP of the series. Yeah. And instead, he cannot forgive himself for losing Game 7, even though there were a bunch of reasons they lost Game 7. And so you miss free throws with a trip to state on the line. Doesn't matter that there were a bunch of mistakes earlier in the game. You are devastated because you feel like you lost the game.
It's a hard deal. It's not.
That is a tough question.
It's a tough scenario. Interesting. Jesse, I'm going to steal your last Whoa Nelly. So Whoa Nelly this. Whoa Nelly! Does this start making more sense if the Cowboys, there's a rumor from JPA on Twitter, and from Trey Wingo. So Trey Wingo, he's got some chops.
Well, wait, did Trey Wingo
Cowboys
just...
have reached out to the... What?
Did Trey Wingo just share JPA's thing, or are these separate reports?
Not to be confused with Joe Pa?
J-Pa took Trey Wingo's report. But
Okay.
I'm looking at J-Pa's.
Okay.
Because Will Blackman, my old teammate, retweeted. That's why it showed up on my timeline. I don't follow Trey Wingo.
Yeah, sure.
And it says the Cowboys have reached out to the Raiders about a trade for Max Crosby. He's being paid $35 million, not $46 million. If the Cowboys pull that off, does that change your deal?
Are they trading Kenny
trade?
Clark?
I don't know. Kenny's going to the Raiders? No, I doubt it.
Just keeps getting worse.
So what is your question? I'm sorry.
Does that change the math on the – because we're all dumbfounded that they gave us Micah Parsons. Does that then change your math on what that?
Because they're saving $11 million a year and still have a top
and they're
flight
getting a really
pass
good
rusher.
player.
Yeah.
That would change how I look at him, yeah.
What, do we have to apologize to Jerry Jones?
Yeah.
Maybe.
At least a little bit.
I don't foresee that happening. I'm going to have to – all right, let me do a little fact-checking on this. Like, Micah Parsons is still 26. How old is Max Crosby?
Oh, it's still a bad trade for Dallas, but it's not as bad.
Depends what they give up. Max Crosby is only 28, so he's not old by any stretch. What will it take to get Max Crosby from the Raiders would be my next question. Do you have to give up one of your first-round picks you got from the Packers? Do you have to pass those to them?
If you
And
give
then
them both,
basically-
it's an insanely stupid trade.
Right. So I'm going to need more information. I can't wait till this trade happens. And then the Packers and the Cowboys face off in the NFC Championship game for a trip to the Super Bowl. We will wrap up the show next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in a bird bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This week at Macy's, it's the best time to save on fall styles at our biggest fall sale. Find the classic brown boots and preppy Mary jeans that everyone's wearing. Luxurious cashmere and wool sweaters. Even better, it's our lowest prices of the season on diamond jewelry, now 50 to 75% off. Over half off. Don't miss your chance to save big on the looks you need now at Macy's biggest fall sale. Today, savings off select styles. Exclusions apply.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Middleton's Joey Passaglia. Passaglia is a senior on the Middleton football team and is the starting quarterback and captain for the Cardinals. In a 56-7 win over Madison Lafayette, Passaglia had 4 total touchdowns, 3 passing and 1 rushing. Through 7 weeks of the season, Passaglia has over 1,700 total yards of offense with 17 total touchdowns and 129 completions. Off the football field, he's also a star on the baseball diamond for the Cardinals. Congrats to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Middleton High School's Joey Passaglia.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by 2 locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
Milwaukee College Prep, redefining what's educationally possible so more children can pursue their dream. Join me, Craig Karmazin, and Milwaukee College Prep Thursday, October 23rd at Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and take a stand in closing the opportunity gap for Milwaukee scholars. Your support means quality education is accessible to over 2,000 scholars in Milwaukee. Enjoy food, drinks, and a chance to learn more. Purchase tickets at 2025 takeastand.givesmart.com. That's 2025 takeastand.givesmart.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Time to wrap things up. Jesse, were you talking to me there?
No, I was talking to old T. Off-air conversation.
Suddenly I was on the air.
I'm confused. As always with Jesse, I'm always more confused after I get done with the conversation than I actually am leading into it.
He was teaching me how to play craps.
I'm glad somebody is. All right. It is Aaron Rodgers' week. We are going to have a Zoom call with him on Thursday.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to that.
Not
FaceTime? You gonna dress up? What are you going to wear? You going to dress up nice and pretty for him?
I haven't thought about that. Haven't given it a whole lot of thought. I don't think I'll be changing my ensemble. I'm sure it'll be a hoodie and shorts.
How much you want to bet, Jesse? How much you want to bet he wears a Cal sweatshirt?
He's going to do something to stand out. I don't know if it's a Cal sweatshirt.
Yeah, he's going to do something to stand out. It's not going to be something mundane.
Yeah.
I can assure you that.
Got an RELAX hat or something you can put on.
Maybe what's the junior college you went to?
Jersey.
What's the junior college you went to?
Butte College.
He's going to have a Butte shirt on.
Yeah.
Something Butte.
Isn't he a Butte?
Be a beautiful day.
Total Butte.
That's it for us today. I can't wait for tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows